So I'm assuming that everything's working okay, and I should be live. Let's just give it a second for it to kick in. Hopefully everything should be working. Hi guys, how are we? Let me know if it's all working for you guys. I think it is. I mean, we'll find out. But it looks like it's working, which is more than you can say about Twitter at the moment. Yeah, Twitter is really not working at the moment. Let's wait a minute for a couple of people to join in, shall we? Hello, everyone. How are we? What's up? Excuse me. DDC, hello. How's it going? So yeah, it looks like it's working. Are we all good? Let me know that everything's running. Hey, Bexy. Hey, Saturn. How's it going, guys? Hello, everyone. It's Oddman Rush here. Welcome to my 2023 NHL free agency live stream. I decided to do this about 3 hours ago. So yeah, I hope everything goes well. Tell me if it doesn't. As you can tell, I'm just about like organized with everything. So free agency technically begun 2 minutes ago. Although so many people have been rumored to have been signed already. So one thing I don't like about insiders that they reveal basically all the signings before free agency actually begins, which I get that that's their job, but at the same time, like, where's the excitement if we already know where half of the people are ending up? So yeah, how is everyone doing? Waldo, I see you there as well. Thomas, hello. Princess Flora, hello. How's everyone doing? Yeah, I haven't uploaded a video in over 2 weeks now. I've got one going out tomorrow though. Finished editing it today. Very happy with it. So yeah, how's everyone? I want to have a chat with you guys for the next 2.5, 3 hours or so. Let's talk NHL free agency, shall we? Give me all your questions, all your thoughts on the signings. Unfortunately, Twitter is down at the moment, or Twitter's been having some issues today. It was working just before I started trying to stream, but you know, the way things go, unfortunately, it's not really working. So that's great. So the good thing is, I have decided to put up Sportsnet and Cap Friendly, and we'll be using them today. Yeah, it's kind of stretched to the screen. I wanted to kind of fit it into the right place, so there it is. It's still readable, right? Like, you guys can see that okay? It's Canada Day. Yes, it is Canada Day. Happy Canada Day to all you Canadians. And then, obviously, after what's it called? After the weekend, it's 4th of July, isn't it? So, happy Independence Day from us, I guess. You're welcome? No? I don't know. Got back from a recent vacation to Niagara Falls and the Hockey Hall of Fame. Nice. Niagara Falls, I gotta say, Niagara Falls is lovely. Like, you go to it, you go, oh, it's lovely. And then you turn around and you go, ugh. I don't know if anybody else has that experience of Niagara Falls. That was very much my experience when I went. But it's not too bad. The falls are lovely, but kind of once you've stood there for a couple of minutes and looked at it, you go, okay. Obviously you can do like the boats and stuff through Niagara Falls, which is pretty chill. But also then Hockey Hall of Fame, I've been there 3 or 4 times now in the last 4 or 5 years. Love the place. Any chance I get to go there, I'm there, you know? Right, so let's see some of the signings. Has anybody actually been announced yet? So far today, there's been a lot of re-signings or guys that were acquired during the draft who have then re-signed. So Klim Kostin, the Detroit Red Wings have been very busy. They got Klim Kostin, so they got him on a $4 million contract, 2 years, so cap hit of $2 million, 24 years old. He obviously was traded to, what's it called? Sorry, I got a text. From the Edmonton Oilers to Detroit. Gustav Lindstrom, low-level contract. Eric Brandstrom re-signed with the Senators this morning. $2 million contract, 1 year. Jacob Bernard Docker signed a 2-year deal, just over league minimum. Oliver Ekman-Larsson has supposedly signed with the Florida Panthers. Obviously, he was bought out by the Vancouver Canucks less than a week ago now, right? And he's gone on a 1-year, $2.25 million deal, which, I mean, Florida, they're looking to go back to the finals again this year, and I don't really know if Ekman-Larsson's a guy that will be able to help them do that. But, you know, with sports, it's so difficult to predict things, so I'm not even going to try. Then Matt Luff has signed, and then we've got Jesper Fast, who was rumoured to re-sign with the Carolina Hurricanes. My New York Rangers were thinking about going for him, but $4.8 million over 2 years, so $2.4 million cap hit for a 31. He's only 31? Oh my god. I feel like there's so many players in the NHL at the moment that they feel like they've been there for years, and then you look at their age and they've literally just turned 30 or 31, and you're like, how on earth are you 31? I thought you were like 40, you know? Jesper Fast is one of those guys. So did you hear about Alex Graham from Sheffield? Yes, I did. Absolutely awful. Such a heartbreaking situation there for Alex Graham and his family. Like, my heart goes out to them. Awful. Like, obviously nothing's been announced. I don't want to speculate about what's happened. Like, give the family the respect and the privacy they deserve. But what an awful situation. Like, that's so sad. So some people are saying Luke Shen to Nashville. Let's check Sportsnet. Has that been uploaded yet? I'm not doubting you guys at all. Adam Fantilli signed his entry-level deal just after Mike Babcock gets announced. So there you go. Where has my mouse gone? Oh, my mouse is having a bit of a seizure. There we go. Found it again. Right, so somebody said desktop Twitter is working. I can verify it's not. Well, not for me anyway. So I can't really keep an eye on it. Where do you think the biggest bum in the NHL, Justin Hull, signs? Damn, he's the biggest bum in the NHL? God, poor guy. Ooh. I mean, I don't really know. He's a depth defenseman. Like, I'm not going to pretend to be, like, an expert of the NHL. I feel like I'm more interested in, like, the stories and everything within certain players. And, like, I love Free Agency Day because, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on. But, yeah, I'm not really somebody who's super, super focused on, like, the intangibles of the game. I've never played the game before, so I know it's not my area of expertise, and I'm happy with that. Justin Hull's a guy, you know, he was bouncing in and out of the lineup for the Leafs for the last couple years. Maybe he's just decided he wants to go somewhere else, you know, you can't really blame him. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the tacky touristy stuff, but the falls are indeed lovely. One night there is more than enough. Saturn, absolutely. You've summed it up perfectly. One night is perfect. So, let's have a look at what's going on. So apparently TSN is updating quicker. Okay, let's have a look at TSN. TSN free agent tracker. Let's have a look. Latest signings for the National Hockey League. See what happens here. Before I, like, put it on the screen, I just want to double check that it's all, like, updated and everything. It's all very exciting, isn't it? Not a Columbus fan, but very excited to see them get a true number one center. Yeah, Adam Fantilli's going to be fun for them. And didn't he say, like, he really wanted to... didn't he say that he really wanted to sign with them as well, which is really cool? Free agency tracker. No, I don't want to play any videos. I find TSN's website absolutely awful. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. Oh, yeah, so I do see some stuff here. Let's, oh, okay, yeah, they really do have a lot of stuff going on here, goddamn. But I don't want the bloody TSN player here. Can you go away? Like, be gone. Thought. I don't want the TSN player. Wait. Well, I could show it on the screen, but then you've got a bloody TSN video sitting in the corner, which I would really like to get rid of, so... apparently Antti Ranta's re-signed with the Hurricanes. Matt Nieto has signed with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and Luke Shen has signed a 3-year deal with Nashville. 3 years, $275 million a year for just over $8 million. That's not too bad. It does suck, like, wow. So, yeah, I hate TSN's website with a passion. It's so bad. It feels like it hasn't been updated since, like, 2010. It looks like when I first started following the NHL, what the NHL website looked like. That's been so updated since I first started watching the league. Oh my god, we have almost 40 people here. Hello, everyone. Bloody hell. Why have you come to watch me? Surely there's, like, other people that are really focused on, like, the draft and stuff that are more up to date and better for this than I am. But I appreciate it. You don't have to go. Hopefully we can have a good chat about some hockey. But, yeah. It's a bit of a exciting time. Yeah, so I would love to show TSN's board, but I'm not having, like, the little video show up on the screen. That would be so irritating. So, sorry, TSN. Not today, buddy. So, yeah, but according to TSN, there's been a couple of signings. So far it's Nieto. Nieto is signed with the Pittsburgh Penguins. 2 years, $800,000 a year, I believe. Let's see if we update Sportsnet and it's there. Let's see what they have to say. No, they're still on Adam Fantilli. Okay, fair enough. We can also check Cap Friendly, because I've got Cap Friendly's thing here for the kind of the best free agents still available. So obviously Patrice Bergeron basically is either Boston or retire, which he's earned that right, but he's still thinking about things. Obviously Patrick Kane, he's had surgery on his hip. Will he come back? Will he sign a contract for free agency, or will he wait till later on in the year, or LTIR? Matt Duchene was obviously bought out recently, 56 points in 71 games. He was on $8 million a year. He's now going to cost significantly less for whichever team picks him up. That's a solid guy to pick up. Max Domi's an interesting one. I feel like he's very streaky. Last season, he seemed to have a pretty good year for himself. 20 goals as well, so he'll get himself a nice little contract, I think. Obviously, David Krejci as well. He's obviously same thing as Bergeron. It's probably going to be Boston or bust for him, I would imagine. I'd be shocked if either of them signed elsewhere. Blake Wheeler obviously was bought out by the Winnipeg Jets a couple of days ago. He was on a deal with 825 cap hit, but now he's looking to go Eastern Conference, supposedly, according to the rumors. You got Michael Bunting. Apparently the Edmonton Oilers are big on him. I'm so shocked. The Edmonton Oilers wanting to pick up a former Toronto Maple Leaf. Where have we seen this before? So, yeah, that's fun. And then Thomas Tatar is pretty solid. Daniel Sprong's going to be the interesting one, though. He was an RFA. He didn't receive a qualifying offer. He scored 46 points in 66 games last season. Like, that's a solid scoring pace. That's one of the better scoring paces out of this group. I mean, if we go by points per game, he is obviously got Connor Carrick, and we won't really count those guys because they only played one game or whatever. But if we go by scoring pace, he's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's the 7th highest points per game guy in free agency at the moment. Like, I feel like you'd be stupid not to pick him up, you know? Because apparently his qualifying offer was like $2.5 million, which I feel like he could ask for more than that. Like 20 goals in 60 games. That's a goal every 3 games this season. That's not bad. He scored more than Tatar. He scored more than Wheeler. More than Krejci, more than Domi. He scored 1 less than Duchene, and he scored as many as Patrick Kane this season. So I feel like Daniel Sprong's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on, actually. Let's see what some of you guys are saying. Twitter is down and you're the only one streaming the updates. Oh, okay, fair enough. There we go. I got a question for you. What's up, Brady? How's it going? Duchene back to Columbus. That would be funny. That would be really interesting if Duchene went back to Columbus. Obviously, that might have been announced, but that would be hilarious, especially considering how he left the team the last time. Okay, so we've got Anti-Ranter's deal come through on Sportsnet. So that's great. But yeah, Twitter is down, so that's exciting. No, I'm not serious. Ryan O'Reilly signs a 4-year deal with the Nashville Predators. Interesting. Okay. Like I say, I take all of these with a pinch of salt until we actually see what happens. Max Domi said he liked playing in Chicago. I wish they would resign him. Really not liking 99-year-old Corey Perry getting $4 million. It's to hit the cap floor. It's to hit the cap floor, you know? Like, Chicago, they're going to have a bunch of rookies on the team this year. They need to hit the cap floor at some point, so they're going to do it with signing guys like that. It's a music-related question, bear in mind. Go ahead, Brady. Feel free. Ask away. The worst thing that happens is I don't answer it. I mean, not intentionally, I hope, but, you know. But how's the stream holding up for you guys? Is it all good? All splendid, all marvellous, all wonderful? Is the quality okay? We don't seem to have dropped any frames so far, so that seems to be positive. Oh, okay, so Montreal and Washington are talking Joel Edmondson. I forgot that Joel Edmondson was even part of them. Oh my god, Saturn, $25? Thank you so much, man. Jeez, dude, that's really kind of you. I really appreciate that, man. I'm so mad Seattle didn't qualify Sprong. Anyway, I won't be able to stay long since I'm in the area with terrible internet. No worries, man. No worries. Well, I mean, thank you very much. Yeah, there is a super chat option available. You don't have to use it. It's entirely up to you. But if you want to get a nice little message there like Saturn did, feel free. There you go. It's up on the screen now. Hey, it's behind my face. Get away from me. So apparently the official free agents released by the NHL, according for the New York Rangers, for any of my Rangers fans out there, So Ryan Carpenter, Halak, Kane, Mikula, Tyler Mott, CJ Smith, who I have no idea who that is, Vladimir Tarasenko. I would have loved, it would have been nice to have Tarasenko back, but I'm hoping Lafreniere and, if Lafreniere and, what's his name? I know who I'm talking about. Lafreniere and Kako, if they take the next step this season, then it should hopefully sort it out. So let's have a read of this. I found a singer who I'm really interested in. I checked his Discord page, and apparently there are 2 singers with that name. The one does electronic music, and the other is a rapper. I ask you because the electronic music one is British, and so that makes me wonder if the rap is the same one as the British guy. I have no idea. I have no clue, Brady. That's a very good question, but I have no clue. Does that help? Harry, how's it going, man? So explain to me how this works. So NHL free agency, July 1st, every single year, is when expiring contracts, they conclude on, it's either like the morning of July 1st or the evening of June 30th. I think it's like midday Eastern time, July 1st is when all the expiring and the previous season contracts expire. So then obviously everyone who is in the final year of their contract, they become free agents. So it's either an unrestricted free agent if they're above a certain age. I think it's above 25, I think, or they've played a certain amount of games in the NHL. There's a couple of different like requirements in order to qualify as a UFA. Several different options, but long story short, basically free agency day is all of these contract spots get freed up, all of the salary cap, or the cap space opens up again, so teams go, right, it's a bidding war. Basically, all the players that are available, the teams go, I want to sign this one, I want to sign this one, and then the player obviously gets to make the decision of where they want to sign, whether there's a no movement clause added in the contract, a no trade clause, whether it's more years but slightly less money, or slightly less years but much more money. Obviously, in the kind of flat salary cap world we're in at the moment, where it's gone up by $1 million, that's why there's been a lot of trades recently to dump salary, so that obviously teams don't really have any room to be making any changes, which, thanks to that one, NHL, you've made record profits this year, but you don't want to put it into the salary cap. But that's a conversation for another day. And yeah, so it's basically just a bidding war. It's one of the fun things of the off season. It's kind of the last fun thing of the off season, because you get to see all these different players move to different teams. Your team signs a new guy and all of that stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, I must say. Ryan O'Reilly signed with the Predators. I mean, if he did, that's pretty solid. I mean, he's obviously chosen to go the rebuild route. They must have given him a good contract, because I would have thought O'Reilly would be looking for another cup. But if he's gone with the Predators, it's kind of So it's basically, it's not quite an auction in the sense of everyone sits there and they put one player up in a go. Essentially, so take for example me, the wonderful NHL player that I am in NHL whatever game. 20, I think the last one I really played Be a Pro was 22, 21, something like that. I don't know. So yeah, so you have, say I was on a 3-year, $1 million a year contract, which, nice. So let's say I was signed from Europe as me, 26 years old, or 3 years ago when I was 23, signed that contract, played in the NHL, played really well. I managed to get to the point where, you know, I'm a solid NHLer. I might not be a stud. I might not be Connor McDavid, but I'm Chris Kreider. I'm Ryan O'Reilly. You know, like that kind of level of guys that are solid, established guys who've had great seasons for themselves. My contract expires at the end of the year. I'm an unrestricted free agent. So basically, every single team who wants to sign me goes, hi there, Odd Man Rush. We want to sign you. We would like to sign you to this many years, this much money, and there might be some performance bonuses included. There might be a no movement clause included. Might be modified for the first couple of years, and then a full no movement clause for the next couple of years if I'm lucky. And then the player essentially gets to go, I'm going to sign with that team. Or they can negotiate for a couple more hours. Their agents do a bit more negotiating. And they go, right, I'm signing with this team. Then that player gets signed with that team. And they spend however long with that team. So It's basically like, you know, you get a bunch of players on expiring deals and they go, right, it's basically their payday. For some of these guys, this is the payday of their career. They will sign a contract that will be the contract of their career. For a lot of people, that will be today. And for other people, it will be either extending their career or getting their first big payday. Things like that, you know? As a Leafs fan, there goes any hope of a playoff round win, losing in 6-7 against Boston again. JVR to Boston, really? Okay. That sounds pretty solid. Trevor Van Riemsdyk to the Bruins. Well, they got rid of Mike Riley and they've signed Van Riemsdyk. That's a pretty solid trade-off. Hey, Anthony, how's it going, man? That Edmondson deal to the Caps is a thing. Is he going to stay healthy, please? Caps just need guys who won't immediately break. I guess it's a case of what, they gave up a 7th? Because for the Habs, it dumps money. But for... I mean, I guess for somebody, like for the Capitals, they're kind of in that middle point. They're not quite a contender anymore, but they're not quite a rebuilding team quite yet, because obviously Ovechkin, Backstrom, Kuznetsov are still on the roster. They're kind of trying to reload as opposed to rebuild or retool. So I guess they have the cap space in order to pick up a guy like Edmondson, and worst case scenario, he doesn't really play for them. Best case scenario, he plays for them, and he's a solid defensive defenseman again. It's either you get exactly what you expect from him at this point in his career, or he surpasses your expectations, which, you know, I guess you can't be disappointed at that point. Waiting to see if Alex Killorn stays with Tampa. It's very unlikely that he stays with Tampa, but, of course, I may be proven wrong. I feel like I've got something in my throat. So Ryan Reeves, okay, so we've got Nathan Bastian has re-signed with New Jersey. He was obviously not qualified as an RFA by the Devils. He signed a 2-year contract, $1.35 million a year for $2.7 million. That's a pretty solid deal for New Jersey. They're looking pretty solid, 25 years old. And then Ryan Reeves has signed a 3-year, they haven't got the cap hit yet, Sportsnet, 3-year contract worth $4.05 million. Brad Treliving, I don't know what you're doing there, man. I don't understand the thought process here. Like, yes, Ryan Reeves can hit. He's physical. He can fight. I just don't understand why 3 years. Oh, but we couldn't have got him if we didn't sign him for 3 years. He's 36, right? And he doesn't fight that often anymore. Yes, he does fight. But he's a guy that you put in and out of the lineup. Yeah, he's earning, what, like $1.5 million a year? $1.3 million a year? Something like that. But, I mean, you couldn't do it for a 1-year deal if you really wanted to go to Toronto. I don't think he's gonna, you know, push the needle that far. Ryan Reeves, oh boy, Tom Wilson is laughing. Tom Wilson is a guy that, you know, like, there's been rumours that he might be on the move. He's a guy that most teams... Tom Wilson's a guy that if he's on your team, you absolutely love him. If he's not on your team, you absolutely hate him. And those are the best type of players to have, right? I think the Reeves cap hit is around 1.2 mil. 1.2 mil? Right, let's have a look at Ryan Reeves' most recent contracts. I need to verify this. Ryan Reeves contracts. So 1.35 is the cap friendly. I've already got it up. God damn, they're quick. So Ryan Reeves, his last contract was 1.75 with the Rangers. Obviously, he was traded to Minnesota. Previous contract was 1.75 again for 2 years with Vegas, and the one before that with Vegas was 2.75. So he's taken a bit of a pay cut, but still, like, the fact that Ryan Reeves has got more than league min, and for 3 years as well, dude's killing it. He has a great agent, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, Twitter's working again. So yeah, Ryan O'Reilly to Nashville. Apparently Connor Brown is going to the Edmonton Oilers. Who else we got? Those seem to be the big ones at the moment. Yeah, so Joel Edmondson's gone to the Capitals for a 3rd round pick and a 7th round pick. That's pretty solid work by the Habs there. They weren't exactly going to use him, were they? So yeah, Matt Nieto, 2 years, $900,000 per. Pretty solid. Yeah, interesting choice to... Oh, apparently the New York Rangers are in the mix for Blake Wheeler. Well, if he costs too much, that's going to be a bit of a problem. But I'd rather have Barclay Goodrow than Blake Wheeler. Oh, but Odd Man Rush! Blake Wheeler can score points. Why wouldn't you want him? Because we've got guys that can score points. That's not the issue. Oh, Blake Wheeler has signed with the Rangers. Oh my god. Literally just saw that. The Rangers have already announced it. Blake Wheeler is coming to New York, and maybe that Jacob Trouba connection's paid off. Oh my god, okay. So let's put this bad boy up on the screen, shall we, fellas? Bear with me 1 second, guys. Here we go, for those of you who might not necessarily believe me. Ah, Twitter's not working now. Come on, there we go. Boom. Welcome to New York. Blake Wheeler. Oh god, it looks awful with the stretching I've had to do on the screen. Now I've got to remember which one's which. So Blake Wheeler. Interesting, okay. 1.35 mil a year. His agent must actually be Jesus. O'Reilly and Shen. Less than Reeves. Fire Shanahan. Hi, Russian. Hey, Spin Viking. How's it going, man? Happy Canada Day to you too, bud. I'm not really celebrating it this year, I'll be honest, because I am in England. Not for much longer, though. Got some exciting stuff coming up over the next few months. And now they're going to re-sign Hall. Maybe. Yeah, there's lots of obviously talk about what's going on in the NHL at the moment, but Blake Wheeler, that's an interesting signing. I'm very curious to know how long and for how much. I imagine it's a 1-year contract, but how long is the contract? That's going to intrigue me. So some of the guys still waiting to that we're still waiting to hear from include, there's only 126 players currently UFAs at the moment. So who are some of the guys that have been taken off the list? We've still got the top 3 guys. Most of the top 10 guys are still there. Evan Rodriguez, I forgot about him. He had an okay season, actually. Zach Parise isn't sure whether he wants to continue his hockey career. Jonathan Toews is probably unsure whether he wants to continue his career. He was a minus 31 this year. Oh my god. Wow, Thomas Tatar was a plus 41? Oh my god, that's solid. God damn. Hey, you Florida man, how's it going, dude? Has the Lightning Cup window closed? No. They've got Vasilevsky, they got Stamkos, they got Point, they got Kucherov, they got Sergachev, they got Hedman. No. Are they a three cups in a row team? Probably not. But look, Vasilevsky, he's proven several times that he can steal games for you. I'd never bet against Andrei Vasilevsky. He is a guy that when he wants to turn it on, he does. Saturn, another $25. Dude, that's very kind of you. I appreciate that, man. You really did not have to send $50 this stream. That's so nice of you. Everyone say a big thank you to Saturn. That's really kind of him, man. I wish I could stick around, but great work as always. Thank you, Saturn. I appreciate that, dude. Enjoy your terrible internet. Hopefully, you're not there for very long. Bunting is probably gone. He was suspended in the playoffs, so Toronto's not going to want him back. Oh, what, the Nazem Kadri effect? Yeah, because that worked out well for them the year after, didn't it? I hope Detroit gets John Klingberg. Detroit would be a good pick there, actually. Basic. Because obviously, he signed that 1-year deal last year, bet on himself. Didn't really go very well, but, you know. What made you interested in following the NHL? NHL 2004. Best hockey video game of all time. And anybody who disagrees with me is wrong. Go and play it. Play the PC version. It's definitely the best one. And you'll see what I mean. So, Jarrett Anderson Dolan has signed with the Kings. He wasn't qualified as an RFA by them, so it's not really like, oh my god, Anderson Dolan? He's signed with the team that drafted him and he's been with his entire career? Oh my god. But, you know, still nice to mention it. Still nice to bring it up, you know. Praying to God Killorn resigns with Tampa, but I can't help but have a bad feeling. Yeah, I don't think Killorn's going back. I think that'll be a big loss for Tampa. But Killorn, I mean, he's won 2 cups with the team. He's earned the right to get his payday now. Killorn's one of those guys that's had to take the pay cuts. And he's one of those guys that, you know, Alex Killorn's one of those guys that I would imagine has had to make sacrifices on his contract relative to his value to the team in order to ensure that they keep the band together and win that second cup. So if he wants a payday, like, I feel like he's sacrificed enough. Tampa fans, feel free to disagree with me, but that's the sense that I get from the organization and from his situation. Feel free to let me know. Quick to the Rangers for 825k. Max, welcome to the stream. If that's the case, solid deal. I would imagine performance bonuses are plenty. He's over 35. I'll take it, you know? Yep, so Jonathan Quick and New York Rangers are official now, so Blake Wheeler to the New York Rangers. Like, but how much for? Elliot Friedman, tell me. I'm very curious to know. So Van Riemsdyk has gone on a 1-year, $1 million deal for the Bruins. That's a solid pickup for them, actually. That's a solid pickup. One year, $1 million? That's beautiful. So Blake Wheeler's going to be 37 next month, but he's taking a 1-year deal. If it's a low base salary, then that would be solid. Same thing with the what's it called? With Jonathan Quick, like another, you know, veteran contract, 35 plus contract, throw a bunch of performance bonuses in there and problem solved. The Rangers can pay the performance bonuses. That's not an issue. Hey, Justin, welcome to the stream, bud. Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. So somebody's saying 1.1 mil, somebody's saying 800k with the Rangers. I hope it's 800k. If it's 800k, that's a solid signing for the Rangers. They've got Quick and Wheeler. Obviously, they're well past their prime at this point. They're not the players that they used to be. Blake Wheeler is basically Dollarama Patrick Kane, if that makes sense. No, not quite Dollarama. Let's say Walmart Patrick Kane. I think that's more fair, because Blake Wheeler, I mean, if we look at his stats from last season, because we had him here, so Blake Wheeler, where was he? Where was he? Has he already been moved off the list? Oh, damn. Because Kane had 57 points. He was a minus 22. He was okay with the Rangers, but you could tell that he needed that surgery. Where was he? Well, they've already taken him off the list. Gah. So let me look up Blake Wheeler then. Blake Wheeler. Because he's what? He's 37, like I said. Last year, he had 55 points in 72 games. He was a minus 3, 46 penalty minutes, which, like, that's not bad. If you get him for 800k, that's a solid deal. Performance bonuses, that's a solid signing. Has the Colorado Avalanche signed any big free agents? Not that I'm aware of. Connor Sheary going to Tampa Bay. Sheary going to Tampa, that's a good deal. See, I love all of these, like sneaky, like, underrated signings. Yeah, Blake Wheeler has signed a 1-year deal, but Sportsnet doesn't have any of the information. Well, thanks for that, Sportsnet. Really helpful, guys. Glad I've got you up, boys. Yeah, well, I'll wait to see what it is. Yeah, Connor Sheary's gone to Tampa. I've just seen that on Twitter now. Blake Wheeler to the Rangers. Van Riemsdyk to Boston. The Boston Bruins. I do like they've gone with their, like, old school. Like, oh, okay. So Blake Wheeler's deal is 800k. Mwah! Chris Drury. Mwah! You beauty. Mwah! I love it. With $300,000 max bonus if the right winger meets all conditions. So basically, that could go up to 1.1 mil. That's beautiful. Chris Drury. Oh, don't you just love it when your GM is competent? Love that. Nice one. But yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. And also, feel free to super chat. Sends a couple of dollars my way. You don't have to, of course. It's entirely up to you. But the option is there, should you wish to use it. I would appreciate it, of course, but it's your money. Do whatever the hell you want with it. Shame, I like Shuri. Did well for the Caps, but ultimately replaceable with Michael coming down the pipeline to get what? Yeah. See, that's the thing with a lot of these depth guys. Unfortunately, they're replaceable. You know? Like, a lot of the like depth guys for the you know, the people that watch all of the games every season or as many games as they can every season, a lot of people who see those depth guys, they go, it really sucks to lose that guy because, you know, he did his job really well. And for a lot of those guys, the less you notice them, the better they do their job because they're not supposed to get noticed. They're not supposed to be flashy players. But then obviously with that, they're low salary, You know, their modest production, and also depending on what team they're playing for as well, whether they were a bottom feeder or a playoff team where a lot of people would want to go for them. You know, it's one of those situations where, yeah, unfortunately, it's just one of those situations where those guys are replaceable. You can get another guy for slightly cheaper if you really want, you know? And that Calder Cup in Hershey, yeah, of course, because the Caps AHL affiliate, the longest running AHL team in the league, isn't it? The Hershey Bears. Yeah, they've clearly proven that there's some good guys in that system that can win a championship, which is obviously very helpful. So Van Riemsdyk is on 1-for-1. What was his most recent contract? That wasn't bought out, was it? James Van Riemsdyk contract. So according to Cap Friendly, how many players we got left? So we started the day with about 136 players. There's now 126 players waiting to go. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Yep, Connor Sheary's gone to Tampa. God, the people at Cap Friendly, they are quick. I will give them credit. Unsung heroes of NHL content creation. My goodness. Hi from Wigan. Hey, Sean, how's it going, man? Hi from the southeast. 35 million over 6. Wait, Kieran, what one's that? 35 mil over 6. Is that O'Reilly? No, it can't be O'Reilly. Who is that? Whatever happened to Josh Hosang? Is he overseas? He played one game with Akbars Kazan and then he got injured, I'm pretty sure. So he didn't play the entire year, pretty much. Let's have a look here. So, his previous contract... Oh no, his previous contract expired at the end of this year. Okay, so he played out the final year with the Flyers, $7 million. And then now he's on a 1 year, $1 mil. Fair play to him. He's, what, 34? So Van Riemsdyk is 34. What was his production last year? 29 points in 61 games. The season before, he was a 20-goal scorer. So, that's pretty solid for 1 year, $1 mil. I mean, I'll give the Bruins credit there. I mean, obviously, there was that connection beforehand with Van Riemsdyk, because he previously played for Boston, didn't he? JVR last contract. Ah, right, Kieran, got you. Of course, because you're a Flyers fan. I was like, what? What on earth are you talking about? Yeah, so we've had a fair amount of people signed so far. Let's take a look at... Obviously, a few of these contracts haven't been put up yet. Yeah, so Van Riemsdyk 1 year for $1 mil has been uploaded now. I think the biggest overpay so far is that Ryan Reeves contract. The years and the salary. Considering New Jersey got Nathan Bastian for the exact same amount of money per year. Boston got Van Riemsdyk for less. The Rangers got Blake Wheeler for less. I mean, the Hurricanes got Antti Ranta for nearly the same amount. Like... Brad Treliving, that's not a bad start. I mean, sorry, no, correction. That is a bad start. Sadly so. I hope you're well, pal. Yeah, not too bad, Kieran. How are you doing, man? I'm doing all good. All fine and dandy. It's free agency day. And, I'm here. I thought about doing one for the draft, but I was supposed to be at work for the draft, and then I was off sick. So, yeah, that was fun. Had a great time. Oh, it looks like we did drop a couple of frames, but how are we doing? Free agency's been going for about 40 minutes already. Okay. It's not bad. Just keep kind of refreshing Sportsnet to see if they've revealed any more signings. Obviously, there's like the like shows and the streams and stuff which have them like super up to date, and Twitter is kind of bouncing back and forth on whether it's working or not. So I literally just refreshed it and it's no longer working now, which is interesting. So the Rangers could potentially have a top 6 of Kreider, Zibanejad, Kakko, Panarin, Trocheck, Wheeler. That's not bad. That's not bad. What players do the Sabres sign? Good question. I don't know. I'm really interested to see where I'm really interested to see where, what's it called? Tarasenko signs. I knew I'd get there eventually. Sometimes I've got like 6 different thoughts going on in my head of different things that I need to say. Oh man, hope you're recovered and well. Yeah, I'm not too bad. I've got like a trapped nerve in my neck or something, which is a lot of fun. So I do like 12-hour night shifts at my job. So, and I'm sat like at a computer. So, yeah, my body's kind of like, maybe you should sit better, Odd Man Rush. I'm like, don't call me Odd Man Rush. That's my YouTube name. No, I'm kidding. My team hasn't done anything yet. Harry, which team's yours? I'll keep an eye out for you. Frederick Anderson has re-signed 2 years, 3.4 with Carolina. So Carolina now have a goaltending duo, which was okay last year. Not great, but it was okay. And they're making less than... they're making about $5 million a year. $5 million for your starter and backup netminders is pretty solid. Now, granted, they've kind of gone for 2 cheaper, slightly less good guys. Elliot Friedman reported Nashville have chatted to Washington about Kuznetsov. Yes, I did see that. Apparently, that kind of conversation has cooled off a little bit now. My Leafs are going to finish 3rd in the division and play Boston or fall to the wild card. I'm not being delusional anymore. Hey, look, Princess Flora. They've won their first playoff round in nearly 20 years. Anything can happen from this point on. They're still, like, Toronto's a decent team. I honestly think with Toronto, a lot of it is up here. A lot of it is purely mental. And they managed to get past one of those hurdles this year. And I think they were kind of a bit drunk from the first round. Not like, as in actually they were intoxicated, but I think they were a bit too happy to get past the first round that they forgot that there were 3 other rounds taking place. That's my opinion. I might be wrong. I don't know. Flames. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Flames aren't probably going to do a huge amount. They're kind of in rebuild mode. A lot of their guys want to leave. So, yeah. Oh, you picked the wrong time to be a Flames fan, Harry. Oh, God. Sorry, mate. Not great, but, you know, they have some players. Unfortunately, they ran into Florida and got manhandled in 5. Yeah, exactly my point. Like, Florida were riding that momentum of defeating a record-breaking team. Toronto had conquered their own demon, but they didn't turn up to play round 2. They lost in 5 games, you know? And obviously, Bobrovsky playing really well helped. Kachuk being insane helped. Florida's suffocating defense helped. Paul Maurice's coaching helped. Yeah. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. I'd love to have seen your live reaction to the Rangers' abysmal playoff loss this year. Unfortunately, I was working when a lot of the games were taking place, so I couldn't do any like live streams. But yeah, I mean, I was disappointed. New Jersey, towards the end of that series, were clearly the better team and they deserved it. And at the end of the day, like, as much as I'm frustrated for the Rangers that they didn't get through, like, New Jersey played better. Jack Hughes is an absolute stud. He's the kind of guy that I'd love on my hockey team. You know, like, it sucks that, you know, oh, but he's a rival, Odd Man Rush. You can't support a player from a rival team. Shut up. I mean, I was going to say more, but then I decided to stop because it kind of made the point. So Jonathan Quick's contract has been announced, 1.8... Oh, not 1 point. Oh, God, 1 point. 825,000. So that means Wheeler and Quick have both come in at 1.6 mil. That's some good cap wheeling and dealing. Obviously, the allure of playing in New York. Jonathan Quick was from Connecticut, I believe. Or he's a New York native. So, that's pretty solid. Like, yeah, obviously you gotta play with that. You gotta use that to your advantage, and they're one of the most financially successful teams in the league. So, you know, you've got to use that stuff to your advantage. Think of all the sponsorship deals. Think of living in Manhattan and all that stuff, you know. Players like that. And especially because it's like, I feel like New York, I'm not saying this as a Rangers fan, I feel like this is the vibe you get. New York is, you get to be essentially a nobody in one of the most famous cities in the world. You get to go about your business and still also be a nobody unless you're like around hockey fans. Like a lot of people say, you know, the allure of Toronto, it's a big market team, but Toronto, Montreal, especially those two places, if you sign there for their NHL team, you're not just a professional athlete. You're a superstar, you know? Like, people recognize you. People know who you are. Whereas in places like New York and Detroit and Boston, you can get away with it a little bit more, which I think is why some of the players prefer to kind of go to those bigger places. They get to go to an incredible city like New York, but they also get to be a nobody there as well, you know? Habs retaining 50% on the Edmondson salary. Okay, that's not too bad. 50%, and yeah, so the Habs take 50%, they get a third-round pick. I imagine the third-round pick was for the 50%. That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid, you know. I can't remember what Edmondson's salary is, but it can't be that much with the 50% retained. Was it like 2.5? 2.25 maybe? It's not bad. It's not bad for, what, 1 year of the deal? Is there 1 year left on Edmondson's deal, Anthony? Korpisalo, 5-year contract with the Ottawa Senators. Damn! That would be a huge deal for the Senators. God, they've been looking for some goaltending depth for a while, haven't they? Excuse me. I really miss the, free agent, tracker thing. The Cap Friendly probably do have it. I should probably look for it, actually. Because apparently there's still 126 players available. Let me look for this, and I'll see if I can find it and add it to the stream. Cap Friendly free agent signings. That's what I want. Ooh. Oh, here we go. Oh, they do still have it. Yeah, okay. Well, Cap Friendly's a lot more on it, so let's use this one then. Don't know why I was doing it the old way. Cap Friendly signings. So Tyson Jost is going to Buffalo. Was he already signed by Buffalo? I feel like he was. Frederick Anderson. Mackenzie Blackwood has signed with the Sharks. Apparently there was a lot of talk there. Wow, 2 years at 4.7? Well, no, 2 years at 2.35. Oh, that's not bad. Fantilli signed. Blake Wheeler. Yep, so his value is 1.1 mil, but it's a $800,000 cap hit. Bastion signed. Michael McLeod has supposedly re-signed with the Devils at 1 year, 1.4. He was a guy that, you know, the teams would be really interested in. Stenland has signed with Florida. Yeah, apparently O'Reilly to Nashville is a thing. 4 years, 18 mil, so 4.5 mil a season. So I guess they've signed O'Reilly to be like a good veteran presence for the Predators, because I mean, with all the moves they've made recently, they're clearly not going to be a contender anytime soon. So I imagine this is going to be, I guess, towards the end of that deal, if Nashville are still struggling to take that next step, they could trade it away to a contender. Kind of similar to what happened this year with his Blues contract or his Sabres contract, and then obviously retaining 50%, you get what? 2.25 mil. That's not bad, especially once the cap's gone up. And then by the end of this deal, he'll be 36. If he's still playing at a decent level, he can try and sign with a contender towards the end. So yeah, that's actually I understand the thought process there from Ryan O'Reilly. That's not bad, actually, not bad at all. Tyler Pitlick to the Rangers. Really? Okay, interesting depth there. He's a guy that kind of bounces between the majors and the minors quite a lot, but you know, get him on a two-way deal or a league min deal, I'll take it. Not bad at all. Sounds like the Sens want their rookie goalies to have more time with Belleville. Okay, that makes sense. $4 million a year for Korpisalo at 5 years. Wow, a $20 million contract for Jonas Korpisalo. Interesting. Preds with Trotz in charge will be fascinating watch. Absolutely. I feel like Barry Trotz has gotten off to a really good start, though. Like, he's doing all the right things so far. Cam Talbot has gone to the Kings. That was rumoured. Oh, yeah. Korpisalo's contract was right here. 1 year, 1 mil for Cam Talbot. Makes sense. Yep. So, yeah, Tyson Jost. He was with... Who was he with previously? He was with Buffalo, wasn't he? He's on a 1 year, $2 million contract. Jonathan Quick's got $100,000 worth of performance bonuses included in his deal, so that's not too bad. Yeah, not bad at all. Gudas to Anaheim. Gudas to Anaheim? They must have been offering him the most amount of money, because I highly doubt that, or nobody else was interested in him. Now, I feel like the run to the finals would have earned him a bit of clout there, I think. Yep, Tyler Pitlick signed. Gudas, 3 years, $4 million a season. Oh, and Buffalo have signed Eric Johnson. 1 year contract, 3.25. That's a lot for Eric Johnson, though. That seems like a lot of money for Eric Johnson, considering he was like a healthy scratch for much of last season. Oh, wow. Okay. Varlamov is apparently staying with the New York Islanders. Alex Belzil to the New York Rangers. The first year is a 2-way contract. The second year is a 1-year contract. Or a 1-way contract. So first year's a 2-way. Second year's 1-way. Interesting. Alex Belzil. He was the captain of the Laval Rocket, wasn't he? I think I watched a game when he was the captain of the Laval Rocket. Let's have a look at what else. Wow, it's already been 50 minutes. We'll probably go for at least another 90 minutes just to see if some of these big names come off the board. But Twitter's finally working again. So yeah, apparently the top 9 for the Rangers at the moment is Kreider, Zibanejad, Kakko, Panarin, Trocheck, Wheeler, Lafreniere, Heatle, Goudreau. I mean, I don't really like Goudreau on that third line, but that's not bad. Oh, and the deal for Tyler Pitlick, $787,500. I mean, the Rangers haven't had much cap space to work with, and boy, are they really scrimping and saving. Like, fair play. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. That's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. What are we saying here, peeps? $20 million for Korpisalo, yep. What do you think of the new Nottingham Panthers roster so far? Harry, I'll be honest. I've seen the names. But other than that, haven't really paid attention. So, yeah. I am so uninterested in the Elite League now. They have not shown a willingness to try and grow the game. Both the British game and the British kind of popularity, and to actually grow the exposure of the game. So until they actually make steps to do that, I'm not going to bother. I understand why people enjoy the Elite League. I understand why people still want to watch it. But until they actually show a willingness to want to expand the game and actually expand its potential, I'm not interested. I'm good. I'm good. Ottawa is the Cleveland Monsters Cup-winning tandem. Interesting. I didn't know that. Nathan McKinnon and David Pastrnak would have been UFAs today, and since I'm not a fan of Boston or Colorado, I wish they did hit the UFA market. Those guys were never hitting the UFA market. A franchise player like McKinnon or Pastrnak, if a team lets them go to free agency without a huge back and forth, then that GM deserves to be fired on the spot, you know? Yeah, Gudas, 3 years, $4 million a season. Damn, Anaheim wanting to hit that cap floor. Guess they're wanting somebody to protect, what's his face? Zegras and Carlson. James Reimer has signed with Detroit. 1 year, $1.5 million. Yep, Tyler Pitlick to the Rangers. That's a nice little deal. I didn't realise Tyler Pitlick was 31, though. I mean, veteran bottom 6 guy. Can't really complain with that. Yep, Gudas. Gudas is going to be 36 by the end of this contract. I want to know, what's the most that Gudas has earned in a contract? So let's have a look. 3.35 from the Flyers. Okay. He earned 2.5 with the Panthers. Damn. This is the most money that Gudas has earned on a contract in his entire career. He's 33 years old. Anaheim, what are we doing here? Oh my god. Read more of Old Man Russian's thoughts on British teams growing the game on banners on... That's okay, Anthony. No worries, man. The new import rule is ridiculous. Yep, agreed. Another reason why I won't watch them. Yep, Eric Johnson to Buffalo. For too much money, in my opinion, but fair play to Johnson. He got his Stanley Cup. He's having a good time. He's thriving. Why not? Sorry, I've got a message to send. Bear with me. Sorry about that, guys. How we doing? Got 30 people still here. Thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate you you stopping by and spending this Saturday afternoon. It's almost 6 p.m. here in England, so I'll say afternoon because most of you are overseas. Morgan Geeky, 2-year, $4 million contract with the Boston Bruins, 24 years old. Morgan Geeky. I feel like he was with the Hurricanes, right? I want to check his most recent stats. Oh, he was with Seattle. 28 points in 69 games, 22 and 73. So he really found his own once he moved from... He was with Carolina beforehand. That's why I said Carolina. And then he's joined the Kraken. I mean, $2 million a year for a guy who hasn't hit 10 goals yet in his career. I mean, that's okay. You're hoping, obviously, he continues to take that step forward. Not the worst contract at all, but, you know... Do you think McDavid will hit the UFA market when his contract is up? I hope so. I hope so. No other UK coverage to watch, your only choice. Not that I'm complaining. Oh, okay, fair enough. Thank you. I didn't realise there weren't any other... I mean, are there any other, like, UK-based people that do, like, free agency and stuff? I don't know. I'll be perfectly honest. I don't really watch many other, like, hockey content creators, so... I kind of make my videos and watch the sport, and that's kind of the only interaction I have with it. I don't really watch many other creators. I mean, there's some solid ones out there, but I feel like with all the work that I do with it, it's kind of like, oh, I need a break from it now, you know? But yeah. So yeah, there's this. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this. You want to watch more of my content. I've got a video going up tomorrow night. It's my first video in about 2 weeks. So I wanted to upload it last week, but then I had a bit of an issue. I had some health problems. Well, trapped nerve in the neck, which caused me a few problems, and yeah, work was fun, but yeah, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I've got lots of videos planned for the off season. There's been some really crazy stuff come out of Poland recently that I'm definitely making a video on, and then what else? Yeah, feel free to super chat. The option's there. You don't have to use it, but if you want to send a couple of bucks my way, help support the channel, feel free. The option's there. Oh, excuse me. I guess you could say that's a geeky Sonic. Harry, stop. Harry? No. We're not doing that today. Right, any other signings? Connor Brown has gone to Edmonton. Wow. Hang on a second. Connor Brown's gone to Edmonton on a 1-year contract with a cap hit of $775,000. But the overall value of the contract is over $4 million. What performance bonuses are in this contract, then? Let's have a look-see. Based on this report, once the deal's been confirmed, the contract will update. Okay. Over $3 million worth of performance bonuses. I completely forgot that Ken Holland was the general manager of the Edmonton Oilers. The maximum performance bonuses a player can receive in a given season. Wow. Okay. But surely all of them go towards the cap anyway, because he's only 29. Interesting. Okay. That's the one, Kieran. Yep, that's the one. NHL for agency, agents of millions of dollars. IHL and NHL for agency, WhatsApp and envelopes in the car park. Pretty much. Yep, pretty much. Did the Canucks re-sign Miller? Miller who? Well, like, Ryan Miller. He was there a long time ago. Did he play for the Canucks? He played for the Sabres. Yeah, he did play for the Canucks, didn't he? I don't know. Hey, Ryu, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. What else was I going to say? Few podcasts that do NHL stuff, but not many who would do this. Oh, fair enough then. Touche. Just got to kind of keep refreshing it every once in a while, don't you? See if there's anything new. That's an interesting contract, though, for Connor Brown. Wonder how they managed to pull that off. I really should turn my ad blocker off for Cap Friendly. Oh, JT Miller. Oh. Oh my god. The fact that I didn't remember JT Miller was playing for the Vancouver Canucks. That just goes to show where my brain's at the moment. My first thought was to go Ryan Miller. I think he spent like 1 year in Vancouver. You know what? I'm going to have to check this now. Ryan Miller. Let's have a look, shall we? How long did he spend in Vancouver? Let's check this, shall we? How long did he spend in Vancouver? He spent 3 years in Vancouver. All right? So, you know, he had an almost 30-win season in 45 games. That's a solid season from Ryan Miller. Holy smokes. The other 2 years weren't so good, but it's the Canucks. They kind of suck, so. And then he went to Anaheim. That's the one. That's the one. Ryan Miller retired long ago. Yeah, I know. That's why I was confused. Somebody would be bringing up Ryan Miller. I'm falling apart here, guys. Riley Nash has signed with the Rangers. Hey, we got ourselves another Nash. It's a 34-year-old guy, a cap hit of 775, but 1.5 on the overall value. So another depth guy for the Rangers. God, they're stacking up on those old codgers, aren't they? Nah, it's not that bad though. I mean, Wheeler's still a solid player. Riley Nash is okay as depth, and if not, he plays down in Hartford. So yeah, he was okay for the Canucks. Yeah, exactly. You know. Oh, Riley Nash's deal's 2 years? Oh, it is 2 years. Ah, that's why the cap hits 775. Right, okay. So, God, Riley Nash's going to be 36 by the end of that deal. How did he do last year? Let's have a look at Riley Nash's situation. He spent last year in the AHL. He was almost a point a game in the AHL with the Charlotte Checkers. Not bad. Spent the previous year with 3 different teams. Scored 4 points. The only points he scored were for Arizona. Like, he had a 41-point season with Boston back in 17-18, but you're not expecting him to be a 41-point guy anymore. He's, what, 34? Like, I imagine surely that's got to be a 2-way contract. It's a 1-way deal, but I wouldn't be surprised if that one ended up in Hartford. Like, that's just forward depth, you know? Blake Wheeler was the last original player for the Thrashers to leave the Jets. Yes, he was. There's only Wheeler, Evander Kane, and Zach Bogosian are the last three players who played for the Atlanta Thrashers still in the league. And considering they relocated in 2012, still having 3 players from the organization a decade later, that's pretty impressive. Where do you think the Coyotes will move to? I'd love to see Quebec City get another chance for a team. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'd like to see it. I think they deserve it, you know? They've got the arena for it, so why not? Riley Nash signed a 2-year deal. Wheeler and Jonathan Quick are going to the Rangers. Yes, they are, Ryu. Very happy about that. Very happy indeed. Oh. You know what? I'm going to turn my ad blocker off for this website. Bear with me. I feel like I should give them the love that they need. No, I don't want to actually go to the ad blocker thing. I just want to... That's what I want. Blogger, nah. Okay, there we go. There you go, Cap Friendly. You're getting the ads. Connor Clifton has gone to the Buffalo Sabres. Wow. Can you guys see this here? Actually, no. Yeah, okay. No, I don't mind ad blocker. As long as I can get rid of the ads at the bottom, I don't mind. I'll keep ad blocker on. But Connor Clifton, 9,999,999. Just make it 10 million. Just make it 10 million. What's with all this? What's with all this? Come on, guys. So, a cap hit of 3,333,333. So he goes to Buffalo. So they've signed Johnson and Clifton. So they've signed 2 right-handed shot guys. I mean, 3.3 mil isn't bad for Connor Clifton. What was his previous contract? First of all, how did he do last year? 23 points in 78 games. His best season by far. Like, by far, notably. And his previous contract was $1 million. So yeah, like, he's earned himself a pay rise. I'm not sure that, you know, not sure that doing it that stupidly is smart. The Coyotes won't move until 2025, and I'm guessing they're going to Houston. Yeah, maybe. Leafs should have kept Carl Dubas. I think Brad Treliving the downgrade. Maybe. Yeah. Why do I feel Toronto's about to go from 2nd in the Atlantic to 5th or 6th? Because the Leafs suck and nobody likes them. No, I'm kidding. Those numbers are just the way NHL agents have fun. Sure, but like, it annoys me and I'm more important, so why don't they do what I want, Bexy? Have you thought about that? Why don't NHL agents go, hang on a second, this amount seems stupid. What would Odd Man Rush do? He'd do this. Let's do that. I feel like it would save everybody. Yeah, so the Buffalo Sabres so far, can we do it by team? We can do it by team. Oh, okay. So the Buffalo Sabres have so far signed Tyson Jost. They've signed Eric Johnson. They've signed Connor Clifton. So they've got 2 right-hand shot guys. Why didn't they put performance bonuses into Eric Johnson's contract? He's 35. He's on a 35-plus veteran deal. Surely that would have made more sense. Because they've put $6.5 million into 2 right-handed shot defensemen. They got Gergensons back on 2.5 mil. Got Okposo back on 3 mil. Interesting. Interesting. Let's have a look at the Rangers, shall we? I already know all the people they've signed. Wheeler. Oh, yeah, they got Zach Jones back on a decent contract. Philip Heatl's earning decent money. But you got Wheeler, Quick, Pitlick, Nash. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Connor Browns has been updated. Oh, it's no longer like... It's no longer got the, like, unconfirmed. Yeah, some of them don't have the unconfirms now. That's cool. Well, alright then. Been watching you since your original Whatever Happened To videos. Hey, Harrison, welcome to the stream. Damn, you've been watching for a long time then. Thoughts on NHL 23? I played it for, like, a couple of weeks. And then I didn't play it anymore. I think I got it because it was on sale. I can't be arsed with the NHL games now. What are the Sabres organization smoking for those ridiculous contracts with the ridiculous amounts of money? Yeah, exactly. That's Buffalo trademark to do these signings. Fair enough, Mudbutt, fair enough. Yep. That's very true. Exactly, Bexy. They should always think what Odd Man Rush is going to say. And if they don't, and they wonder why they don't win the Stanley Cup, Odd Man Rush could win you a Stanley Cup, but you don't want him to. Who's the silly one now? Nah, I would not be able to win the Stanley Cup. I mean, it'd be pretty cool if I did. God, imagine being part of an NHL organization that wins the Stanley Cup. That must be such an insane feeling, though, right? That must be incredible. So we've passed an hour since free agency started, and a lot of the big guys, Kane, Tarasenko, other people, still haven't been signed yet. I'm sure you could put your foot in the crease. Oh, absolutely. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll just, like, stand there. No, I don't want to cross-check, guys. I don't want to, like, injure them. And I don't want them to injure me. Oh, I know what I could do. I could be, like, the equipment guy that has his, like, hands on all the different players' sticks. That sounds like a really bad euphemism. You know what I mean? Like that clip from the Leafs trainer. I could do that job. That job seems pretty solid. Can you check on the Oilers signing? Sure. Yeah, if you guys want me to pick certain teams, feel free and we'll take a look at them in more detail. So the Edmonton Oilers, the only players they signed Derek Ryan. That was June 13th on less than $1 million. They signed Janmark yesterday for $1 million, 1 year. And they signed Connor Brown. So in Edmonton's credit, they've signed, the biggest signing they've made is Janmark for 1 year, $1 million. In terms of, like, you know, highest salary per year. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Joel Hanley has re-signed with the Dallas Stars. 2-year contract, $787,000 cap hit. Not too bad. Gustav Nyquist just signed with Nashville. Okay. Okay. Has Sprong gone yet? Sprong, that's the one. Yeah, Sprong hasn't gone yet. He's gonna be a very interesting one to watch. If the Rangers could get Sprong, I'd be hella impressed. I don't think they're gonna get him. I think the fact that they've signed Wheeler is better, in my opinion. And I think Sprong's gonna want more money. But yeah, I wanted Nyquist to stay in Seattle. Gustav Nyquist went to Seattle? Oh my god, it feels like a lifetime ago that the trade deadline took place. All Toronto has done is re-sign Kampf, Holmberg, and sign Ryan Reeves. And what a wonderful free agency it's been for them, Princess Flora. I feel like it's been a slower free agent day up to this point than years past. Oh, Harrison, yeah, absolutely. It's because of the only $1 million of salary cap increase. If they'd actually, like, increased it notably, there would have been trades and signings aplenty. But the NHL are being stingy. So no fun for us, I guess. Alex Belzile has gone to the Rangers, and that's so the Rangers have signed Belzile, 31-year-old depth forward, two-way contract, very nice. Yeah, I did mention that earlier. They signed Riley Nash, old veteran forward, 2-year contract, both of which at 7.75. I think that must be league min. They've signed Tyler Pitlick. They've signed 4 depth forwards, which on the one hand, okay, but on the other hand, like, I guess some of them are going to Hartford as well. Well, Belzile will probably start in Hartford, which isn't too bad. But we've got Nash, we've got Pitlick, Wheeler's going to compete for a roster spot, but I'd imagine he's going to get it. What about the Jets? Let's take a look at the Jets. I'm just sitting here hoping that Boston doesn't pull another year of smoking stuff and finishing first in the league again. Yeah, but if they get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs, it doesn't matter, does it? Seattle hasn't done anything yet. Seattle has done something. They did sign one player. Oh, yeah, they signed Joey Decord. They signed, he managed to take him all the way to the finals, didn't he? Joey Decord, the AHL finals. Who was the other one you wanted me to look at? Somebody mentioned a team, and I've already forgotten who it was. The Jets, that's the one. Let's take a look at the Jets. They lost their captain. They bought him out, though. They obviously, signed Pierre-Luc Dubois, but then obviously flipped him in a sign and trade. I like the fact that there are more sign and trades taking place. Gustav Nyquist, 2-year contract, $6.37 million, so cap hit of 3.185. Let's actually have a look at what Nashville have been doing recently, because I'm actually hella impressed with them. So, obviously, they've traded a bunch of guys away. They bought out Matt Duchene, but they've signed Shen, which I think that's a decent contract. Like, you could have got, maybe he's not worth 2.75, but it's the free agency market, you're always going to overpay. Ryan O'Reilly is a top 6 center for them. He basically replaces Duchene. He's not as productive, but he's better in his two-way game. And Gustav Nyquist is another winger. Like, they're getting some solid veteran guys who O'Reilly's won a cup, Luke Shen's won a cup. Now, O'Reilly obviously won the Conn Smythe, so he was a big part of that win. Luke Shen, not so much. He was a depth guy for Tampa. But, you're getting guys that have been in locker rooms and have picked up some stuff and know how to win. So, I feel like as they bring a bunch of different young guys and prospects and entry-level contract guys onto the roster, I feel like that's a really smart move for them. Milan Lucic, it's finally been made official. Lucic and Van Riemsdyk have both gone back to Boston. They really are running it back for the last dance. This might actually be like the legit last dance. They've got Lucic back. They've got Van Riemsdyk back. They're, get Bergeron, Marchand, Krejci. I feel like with guys like this, they're going to try and run it back one more time. Don't blame them, to be honest. Rangers team, you get Wheeler and Quick. Indeed. Hey, don't sleep on Decord. He was superb in the playoffs. That's what I said. My cousin plays in the FPHL, which is the 5th division of pro in US. Nice. That's pretty cool. Firebirds and Calgary Wranglers, by the way, superb rivalry in the AHL this past season. Nice. Have the Flyers done anything today yet? Let everybody else have the fun and sit there and behave themselves, probably. What have the Flyers done? They have not signed anybody. I mean, to be fair, would you want to sign with Philadelphia right now? I know I wouldn't. Ian Cole has gone to the Vancouver Canucks. 1-year contract. It's a two-way contract. Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a two-way contract where it's worth $3 million a year. But his minus salary 0. And signing bonus. So the base salary is 1.5. The signing bonus is 1.5. But the cap hits. Are we sure this is a two-way contract? I might be wrong there. It says it. Maybe they inputted it wrong, because structure says two-way contract. That doesn't seem to make any sense. Rush, how does Montreal look? Well, we can take a look in a second. All those guys to Nashville to go play for that money with no state income tax. Oh, yeah, that's a really good point, actually. Hey, Kylie, I'm not doing too bad, man. How you been? How you been? I mean, not necessarily, but that's why I'm so intrigued by how fast we're... Fair enough. Good point. Good point. So what else do we want to say? Montreal. They haven't signed anybody yet, as far as I'm aware. We'll take a look. They obviously re-signed Sean Monahan to that one-year contract, which... Sean Monahan's only 28 years old. He seems so much older, doesn't he? I feel like Sean Monahan's 31 because he's been in the league for like a decade now, you know? But, you know, hopefully he keeps kind of bouncing back. Obviously, they've got Newhook they need to sign, but he's an RFA, so they've got time. They've qualified him as an RFA, so they've got time to bring him in. Teddy Bluger's gone to Vancouver. 1 year, 1.9 mil. He was with Vegas, wasn't he? He won the cup with Vegas, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he was with Vegas at the end of the year. Played 6 games for them. So, Teddy Bluger, he just missed out on the cup. On 2 cups with Pittsburgh. But he got one with Vegas. Oh, that's nice. Oh. It's not bad. Briere was a great player. Yep, Danny Briere was a pretty solid player. It's plus 35 degrees here in Canada. Damn. Today it's not too warm here in England. It's 21 degrees here today. So not too bad. Have the Jets done anything? Nope, Harry, they have not done anything. I think we just checked them about 5-10 minutes ago. They haven't really done anything so far. Finally, Vancouver's gotten involved, though. I got my cousin a Flames Kipper jersey and he was so shocked he was so happy. Nice, Kyler. That's awesome. Mika Kiprasov. He was a solid netminder. Teddy Bluger, yep, he's gone 1.9 mil. There isn't really, I wouldn't really say there was a championship tax there, so that's not too bad. Under 2 mil for Teddy Bluger. He's a pretty solid guy, you know. He's a pretty solid signing. Vancouver adding to their depth. Briere starting off well as GM, to be fair, considering the situation he inherited. That's fair. That's a good point. I mean, it was Chuck Fletcher beforehand, wasn't it? Was it Chuck Fletcher? Who was the GM before Briere? It was either Chuck Fletcher or who was it? It wasn't Guerin, because Guerin's with Minnesota. It was Chuck Fletcher, wasn't it? He was bloody awful. He was a terrible GM. Don't know how he managed to keep his job for so long. Justin Holl has gone to the Detroit Red Wings. 3-year, $10 million contract. Fair enough, fair enough. And that's $3.4 million a season. What was his previous contract? Justin Holl is 31 years old? How is he older than Sean Monahan? So 3.4 mil a season. His previous contract was 2 mil a season. Yeah, Toronto weren't paying that. Toronto weren't paying 3.4 mil a season. Absolutely not. Vancouver signed Tristan Nielsen to an entry-level contract. He's 23 years old, so it's probably the last chance to sign him. Tristan Nielsen, where did he play last year? Hello? Oh, yep, has added another one. There we go. Tristan Nielsen. He hasn't had an entry-level contract. Oh, he played with their minor league team. Okay. Well, he had 41 points in 64 games last year. Okay, fair play. Fair play. No, he's earned that entry-level contract then. Nicely done. Nicely done. So, yep, Justin Holl. Rourke Chartier, 27-year-old. Was he with the Hershey Bears? There was one player that they'd mentioned was with the Hershey Bears. No, he was with the Senators last year. And with the Sharks the year before, but 27 years old, gets a 1-year league min contract. That's not too bad. What about the New Jersey Devils? They've re-signed Bastian and Miles Wood, I believe. I wish Price could have won the cup. That was my wish. Yeah, absolutely. It would have been nice to see Carey Price win the Stanley Cup. How'd you feel hearing the Habs signing Arber's brother Florian? I mean, it was a 4th-round pick. Like, at that point, it's a crapshoot, you know? I understand why people might be upset. Oh my god, you only picked him up because he's Arber's brother, and he's nowhere near as good as Arber Xhekaj. Arber Xhekaj was left undrafted both years. I'm a really big fan of Arber Xhekaj. I love his story. The fact that like people are criticizing the fact that they've drafted the brother of somebody who literally went undrafted every single place he possibly could have been drafted, and he still made it for a full season in the NHL. Like, come on, guys. Like, come on. I mean, maybe Florian doesn't work out. It's a 4th round pick. Quite often they don't work out. Quite often they end up spending the rest of their time signed elsewhere, you know? New Jersey Devils, let's take a look at them now, shall we? New Jersey. I do like the moves that New Jersey's been making. So yeah, they re-signed Bastian and McLeod. They signed recent trade acquisition Shane Bowers to a two-way contract. Obviously signed Maya, Howler, Jesper Bratt, Damien Severson, and then that was obviously part of the sign and trade. So yeah, they've made some good moves. Made some good moves. What else we got to say? Yeah, but I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Oh, what happened there? So somebody subscribe. Thank you for subscribing, Mikhail. Mikhail Labachange. I probably butchered that. You're very welcome. But yeah, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying. I would really appreciate it. Does help me out a lot. Feel free to super chat if you want to. If you want to send a couple of bucks my way, help support the channel a little bit further. You don't have to, but the option's there should you want to. So feel free. Or don't. It's entirely up to you. I'm not your dad. So we're still waiting to hear from Duchene, from Patrick Kane. God, if the Rangers got Patrick Kane on league minimum as well, that would be solid. I'm not expecting them to, but that'd be pretty solid. Dmitry Orlov just signed with the Carolina Hurricanes. Really? What's happening with that Tony DeAngelo trade? Because it got nixed by the league because for reasons. I believe the reasons were that it was like supposed like cap circumvention because they signed the contract, they traded him to Philly, and then they wanted to reacquire him for less assets because obviously he didn't have a very good time in Philly. But then apparently like July 1st they can still make that trade. So are they still like in the mix for? Are they still like in the mix for? Oh, Riley Nash's contract is a 2-year contract. Oh no, I thought it said 2-way. Oops. Dmitry Orlov, 2 years, 7.75. I feel like Carolina's one of those teams that just keeps magically finding cap space. Oh, the Rangers have agreed to terms with defenseman Connor McKay and Nicholas Brouillard on 1-year contracts. So signing some more depth and for their AHL roster. Not bad, not bad. So yeah, the Rangers getting the job done, signing a bunch of depth. It's all right. Kyle Burrows has signed with San Jose, apparently. Yeah, 7.75 for the Hurricanes for that deal. That's a lot of money. I know how you feel why the Habs signed Arthur's brother Florian, but I'm wondering how good is his brother because it's a long shot for him to join his brother. Oh, absolutely, Ryu. But it was a long shot for Arber Xhekaj to make it. It was a long shot for any undrafted player to make it to the NHL. All they deserve is an opportunity, right? Not allowed to trade back after a year, but allowed to trade and then buy out. Weird rules. Yeah, that's strange. Yeah. But yeah, Dmitry Orlov's contract seems a little bit pricey. Eunice Corpusalo's contract. Twitter's finally working again. So, Chris Drury wanted his entire free agency done by lunchtime, and I respect that. Yes, Ryan Mead. Shout out to Ryan Mead. I do find his tweets quite funny. Right, let's see if there's been any other signings. Who else we got now? So, yeah, Dmitry Orlov is now in. So, I want to check Carolina's cap situation. So, they've signed him to a 2-year, $15.5 million contract, $7.75 million a season. What was Orlov's previous contract? I believe it was $6 million, wasn't it? So, with the signing of Orlov, they now have Orlov, Slavin, Burns, Shea. Pesci they're trying to get rid of. I mean, if he replaces Pesci, then that makes sense. But for almost twice the price tag. And then Chatfield, I guess. I mean, that would round out their defensive core, but Their cap space, $6 million. Oh, okay, well, that's not too bad. That's because they've got Sveshnikov on IR, though, surely. So, yeah, I imagine Pesci's being moved. Because Dmitry Orlov, I'm pretty sure his previous contract, the highest he had was 6 mil. 5.1. It's 5.1 with the Capitals. Okay. Don't know why I thought 6 mil, but there you go. So he's probably earned maybe the contract of his career there, Dmitry Orlov. Fair play to him. Boston celebrating the fact that what was it? Milan Lucic going back. Apparently, they were not really expecting a ton more from the New York Rangers today, which, I mean, they don't really have much cap space. So, the Philadelphia Flyers have signed Ryan Poehling for 1 year at 1.4 mil. The Devils have acquired defenseman Colin Miller from the Dallas Stars in exchange for a 2025 fifth-round draft pick. What else we got here? Joel Edmondson trade. Oh, apparently William Nylander has submitted his 10-team no-trade list. So, there's still talks about an extension there, but we'll see. Trying to just check into it to see if there's anything else that's happened. How do you feel of David Poyle, final pick before he retires? Yeah, that was a nice moment for him. Don't you have a podcast about hockey in Europe? I stopped that about 2 years ago now, Harry. Yeah, Chris and I decided to call it a day on that. We didn't really have the time to do it anymore, unfortunately. And it wasn't quite getting the viewership that we needed to keep it going. I would have loved to have carried on, but it kind of got into a bit of a formulaic, like it was a bit too formulaic. We weren't really, like, you know, pushing the boat out with it. We were just kind of doing it to stamp our card every week, you know? Which really shouldn't be how you do it with stuff like this. Yeah, so apparently one of the big things for Wheeler going to New York was obviously being reunited with Jacob Trouba, who obviously those two were part of the leadership group for a long time. Anything else interesting? Can't see any other announcements so far. Yep, Tyson Jost went back to the Sabres. Agent Matt Keeter says client Alex Clawn is headed to the UFA market. Last minute negotiations with the Tampa Bay Lightning did not produce an extension. He's tied for the UFA lead with 27 goals this past season. So, yeah. Apparently, the New Jersey Devils are one of the teams that are interested in him. Damn. That'd be quite the steal. Good morning from Tokyo, Japan. Nice. It's almost 2:30 a.m. Oh my god, Ryu. Damn. Get some sleep, dude. What are you doing here? Right, who else we got now? Ryan Poehling. Mike Riley is signed with Florida. 1 year, 1 mil. Obviously, he was just bought out by the Bruins, so he's got 2 incomes coming in. Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. We've had a pretty steady amount of people in the stream for a lot of it. Like, thanks for joining me. I really do appreciate it, guys. Like, 28 people. It's very kind of you to join us. I always wonder why our hockey team is called the Islanders. It's because we're basically living on a little island. Oh, well, fair enough then, Kyler. Fair enough. That would make sense. Anybody else? Yep, Ryan Poehling gone to Philly. Ryan Poehling's been an interesting play. He really hasn't quite put all the pieces together, has he? Toronto should be prepared here. Call-ups. Yeah, I mean, Toronto only have so much cap space as well. They're obviously trying to get that. They're having that discussion with Nylander about a potential extension. Justin Hull to Detroit. Yep, Justin Hull's gone to Detroit on a 3.3 a year contract. 3.4 a year contract, I should say. Okay, Harry, no worries, man. No worries, man. See you soon. Hey, Beast, how's it going, man? Hearing no one can get on Twitter, how about you? Yeah, Beast, it's just about starting to work now. But yeah. Last year you made a video discussing everyone's the worst free agent signing. You think this year you could make a video discussing every team's best free agent signing? See, I have had that in the books, but it's been like but it just takes so long, you know? Oh, Bexy, thank you so much. It's very kind of you. Just a little treat for the fun stream and keeping us all informed while Twitter was down. Thank you, Bexy. Very kind of you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of the super chats. Like I said, it is an option should you guys wish to send a couple of bucks my way. You do not have to, of course. It's entirely up to you, but I appreciate it. It really does help me out a lot. Like, it is very kind of you. So thank you, Beasts, and thank you, Bexy. Very kind of you. Don't worry, I always like you whenever you live or not, but don't worry, I'll go to bed soon. Okay, Ryu, good. I'm thinking more about you here, man. You know? Like, sometimes you just gotta get some sleep. So the impending free agents... Oh, so, Urinating Tree, shout out to him. Absolute stud of a YouTuber. Impending free agents in Carolina. So, in 2024, the current free agents that they've got coming up, Sebastian Aho, Teuvo Teravainen, Martin Necas, Jordan Martinook, Jack Drury, Seth Jarvis, Brett Pesce, who's probably going to be traded, and Brady Shea. And they've signed Dmitry Orlov for 7.75 mil. I mean... They're really going all for it this season. Fair play to them. But goddamn. That's pretty bold. I respect it. Let's just hope it works out for them. Or not. Actually, no. I want the Rangers to win instead. Let's hope it works out for us. For them. For everyone. For nobody. I don't know. I'm just kind of making up as I go along. Damn, you guys have been so generous with the super chats today. Very nice of you, thank you. But yeah, I am interested to see where Duchene goes. I feel like Patrick Kane, he's going to be an interesting one. I feel like Patrick Kane's very much like he's kind of the dark horse signing, because yes, obviously he could sign a contract, be on IR to start the year, or is he going to go like, maybe I'll wait and see what the landscape is like before I sign a contract midway through the year once I've recovered from my surgery and stuff? Because, like, that's a legit option as well. And I wouldn't, like, fault him for it either, you know? Like, he's earned the right to kind of pick when and where he wants to sign. Like, obviously, he could still make a decent amount of money in the NHL. He's not making $10 million a year, of course, but he could still make a decent chunk of change. Or is he chasing another championship? Like, he's got options there, you know? Pacioretty to the Caps. Okay. Ian Cole signed with the Canucks. He signed with the Canucks like 20 minutes ago, Mudbutt. Where you been, man? Where you been? Yeah, Justin Hull signed with the Detroit Red Wings, Leafs fan. So, Anthony, Pacioretty to the Caps. Now, that's an interesting one, because Pacioretty's either going to be the steal of this free agency class, or it's going to be one that the Caps wish they didn't make. It's very much a boom or bust, because obviously with the injuries that he's had recently, obviously with the situation, Max Pacioretty, 1 year for $2 million, plus another $2 million in signing bonuses. You know what? That's a solid deal for Washington. I like that. I like that deal. You've basically replaced Connor Sheary with Max Pacioretty, who... if things work out and things go to plan, he's going to be back, you know, scoring 20 goals a year. Oh, Philip Maillet is signed with the Habs. Shout out to Philip Maillet, those of you who follow the KHL. Wait, was his contract up? I thought he was still playing for Magnitogorsk. Damn, okay. Oh man, I'm late. Oh, no worries then, Mudbutt. I didn't think you'd, I thought you were still here. My bad. Yep, so Max Pacioretty, it's a 1 year contract, $2 million, but extra $2 million signing bonus. So the cap hits $2 million, Anthony. And he's 34, so didn't quite get that veteran contract just yet, but no, I like that deal. I like that deal for the, what's it called? One player you want the Rangers to sign. By the way, the Rangers suck. Hi, Squirtle Army. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. I mean, Blake Wheeler was a pretty solid signing. I wouldn't mind Daniel Sprong, but it depends on how much money. I feel like defense-wise, the Rangers are okay, and they've just went and signed a bunch of depth forwards who are either going to be like top 6 guys in Hartford or 4th line guys for the Rangers. So I feel like with the situation that they're in, they've signed some decent guys. They've got their backup netminder in Jonathan Quick. They've also got Louis Domingue as well. So, you know, if Quick doesn't quite work out, then Domingue's also an option there as well. There's a couple of pretty solid options there, I think. Like the Rangers, I mean, what's the cap space for the Rangers now? It's got to be what, like 9 million? Actually, wait. Easier way to do this would be to do this. So they have $8.5 million in salary cap space following the signings they've made. Now, the forwards, provided they get Lafreniere signed, I mean, Belzil's going to go down to the minors, I'd imagine. And then you've got Othman is probably going to come up, and then Will Cooley will probably come up as well. Defense, you've got Fox, Trouba, Lindgren, Schneider. They need to re-sign Keandre Miller, and then either it's going to be Ben Harper or Zach Jones, depending if Jones is ready to come up yet, which I hope he is. And then you've got Shesterkin Quick. So they've got 8.5, and all they need to sign is Lafreniere, and they've got $8.5 million to sign Laf, who hasn't hit his stride yet and is getting a bridge deal. He's not going to get a huge contract, is he? Unless he wants to sign an 8-year deal at like $3 million a season, which he's not going to want to do. And Keandre Miller, he hasn't quite reached that, solid top defenseman who needs to be paid $8 million a year. I think you can sign both of those guys on $8.5 million, and then all of the worries that like a lot of Rangers fans have had, problem solved. Refs helped you out in 2022 to beat the Penguins. Penguins on top. Oh, fair. People are over complaining about not being able to see the tweets when they go to specific accounts. Can't see any of them. Yeah, same beasts. Like, there's a lot of tweets that I'm not being able to see as well. And, like, sometimes when I refresh Twitter, it just does not want to work. So, like, I literally just refreshed it again, and it's not working. So, I'm glad that it's, like, not just me that's dealing with it. So. Ooh. Any more signings? Yeah, I like that deal for Patches. So Luke Shen's deal has been announced. Philip Maillet. He played for Magnitogorsk last year, but now he's signed a 1-year, is it 2-way contract? Not sure. Yeah, he was with Metallurg last year, 53 points in 66 games and 39 points in 47 games the year before. And then he's only had 2 games in the NHL, and they were with Washington back in the 2021 season. And, yeah, he's 30 years old. I think that's a pretty solid contract for the Habs. He's obviously Quebec-born. Teddy Bluger is a bum. What are the Canucks doing? No, he's not a bum. He just won a Stanley Cup, mudbutt. He's a solid bottom 6 guy. He's a good penalty killer. Hey, Harry, how's it going, man? Has anything happened? I mean, Craig Smith has signed with the Dallas Stars, 1 year, $1 million. Pacioretty signed with the Capitals, 1 year, $4 million contract, but $2 million cap hit. Dmitry Orlov is the biggest one so far. 31 years old. He signed a 2-year, $15.5 million contract. That's an example of Orlov. He's decided to go. Now that's interesting, because has he decided to go against himself and go, I can get a much better contract once the salary cap jumps up in the next 2 years? But he's going to be 33. Is he going to earn more than $7.75 million? I doubt it. I don't know. Bluger was really good for us in Vegas. Might be biased as a member of the Teddy Bluger fan club. I like that. How can Detroit give Justin Hull that much money as a Leafs fan? I don't think he's worth any more than $900K. Well, I mean, it might be another example, Leafs fan, of a player on the Leafs leaving the Leafs and ending up doing much better. Well, hold the phone, guys. The Winnipeg Jets have made a signing. Colin Delia, the goaltender. 1-year contract at league minimum. Hold the phone, everyone. Yeah, Brady Keeper is also... Brady Keeper, I recognise that name. Was he in the NHL last season? He was with the Panthers in the 2021 season. He skipped the entire 21-22 season. And he played for Abbotsford last season. Okay, that's not a bad signing for the Habs, getting some depth there. I like that signing of Maillet, though. Montreal, I hope you do great this year. Well, yeah, they've got Reinbacher. Apparently a lot of Habs fans were really cruel to Reinbacher after they drafted him. Like, I love the city of Montreal. It's literally my second home. And it is quite literally going to be very soon. Wink, wink. I'll tell you more about it when I get closer to the time. And, but yeah, like, really, guys? Just because you wanted Mitchkov and your general manager decided not to get him, why not have a go at the general manager? Why have a go at the player? He didn't decide to get drafted. Like, he didn't choose to go to Montreal. They picked him, remember? So we're almost 2 hours into free agency. And still a lot of the big signings haven't been made yet. I mean, this is quite typical because obviously, you know, they want to sit there with their agents. They want to discuss their options, which, like, they've earned the right to do, you know? But also, give us something interesting. Like, there's only so much we can sit here and talk about Colin Delia and Brady Keeper and Luke Shen, you know? Craig Smith going to Dallas, I think that's a interesting pick. Like, a few years ago, this probably would have been more exciting than it is now. I mean, he had, 16 points in 64 games this year? He also got traded to Washington. Better scoring pace with the Caps than he did with the Bruins. He had 36 points the year before with Boston, 32 the year before that, so it's not too bad. But I mean, he's a long time ago since he was a consistent 20-goal guy. God, he was a consistent 20-goal guy. God damn. Well, for 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5 seasons. You can earn a decent chunk of change by being a 20-goal scorer for that amount of time. I wish Hall went back to Edmonton. They don't have the money to sign him. You see the contract that he's on? Ooh. So where are we at? We'll probably go for another 45 minutes or so. And then we'll see where we're at. We'll at least get to 2.5 hours. And then obviously we'll make a decision from there on kind of what to do next. Because, I mean, I'm enjoying it, but like it's also at the same time, like, we've had the initial kind of rush of players that have been signed once the window opened. Many of whom had already been kind of announced before free agency actually opened. But also, like, how about we... Carson Soucy's gone to Vancouver. 3 years at $3.25 million. I'm not really sure about that. Apparently people think that's a good signing. Yep, Connor Clifton been signed. Any other players here that I need to look at? Matt Nieto. Yep, we talked about him very early on. Craig Smith. Yeah, Carson Soucy was a really smart ad for the Canucks, apparently. The defenseman, 28-year-old defenseman. And he has signed a... What was it again? 3 years, 3.25? He played for Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. If I was Hall, I would go for little cash. Then if you do well, you get paid a big old bag. Yeah, but what if he doesn't play very well, Kyler? Then he doesn't get the big old bag. Teddy Bluger played 6 playoff games and got 2 points. He's a bum. He also has his name on the Stanley Cup, so clearly he's done something right. Let's see if Twitter's updated. Trevor Lewis returns to the LA Kings, chasing 1,000 games in a third cup. Yep, Antti Ranta has gone back. We know that. Yep, Teddy Bluger, that's already been announced. Anything else? Carl Burrows has gone to San Jose. Don't see anything else. Apparently the Anaheim Ducks are among the teams very interested in Alex DeBrincat. They're one of the only teams that probably have the cap space to be able to sign him to the deal that he's worth, right? Yeah, I'm just kind of keeping an eye out to see if anything else has been revealed. So, refresh. Andreas Engeland has signed with the LA Kings. 2-year contract, $2 million, $1 million a year. Not bad. Did you see the Ducks jersey? I did. I wish it was the actual Mighty Ducks logo, but, you know, sometimes you've got to take what you're given. I like the nod to, you know, like the Mighty Ducks. Big Mighty Ducks fan. I literally played a game NHL 2004 earlier today. Mighty Ducks versus the Dallas Stars. The ones I'd always play. Living in California is definitely better than Detroit, that's for sure. I mean, Most people would agree with you, yep. Yep, they would probably agree with you on that, Max. Yeah, have you guys got any questions for me? Any particular teams that you want me to focus on? Feel free to let me know in the chat. Keep talking to me, guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Also, Riley Nash's contract, one-way first year, two-way second year. Interesting. So it's the opposite of Belzeal's. That's smart. That's smart. I like that. So they're expecting, you know, maybe it's a case of... I didn't realise you could do that with contracts, that you could have it be one-way one year and two-way the other year. That's really interesting. And also, the Rangers have signed Connor McKay and Nicholas Brouillard, but I haven't seen that announced on Cap Friendly. Obviously, their depth signing is not as if that's going to move the needle very much, but yeah, those signings haven't been made, so who knows? Guess that'll have to be some of my homework later on. Did the Islanders do anything? What a wonderful question. That's a really good question. The Islanders haven't done anything as far as... Apparently they're re-signing Semyon Varlamov. But other than that, the last signing they made was about 11 days ago. So, make from that what you will. But then again, it's Lou Lamoriello, you know? They might not be announced till like mid-August. So, enjoy that one. Yeah, it's probably going to be a while till we hear what the Islanders have done, to be fair. Apparently, the Orlov signing doesn't take Carolina out of the Erik Karlsson trade talks. The Canes still have room and interest in Karlsson. I guess you could, if Pesci's part of that deal, that makes sense, because then obviously the Sharks get themselves a decent defenseman in exchange. Obviously, they'd need to add further pieces onto it. The Hurricanes, I mean. But yeah. Why is it so dead today? I reckon it's probably, Harry, because there's several different... some of the big free agent signings, some of them that were bought out, probably haven't had a huge amount of time to process the fact that they were bought out. Maybe they were informed by the organisation beforehand, but you never know. And also, like, they get to choose. Maybe they take a look at the landscape and see where some of these other players have signed. You know, if they see a team stacking up on a bunch of really solid guys or former teammates of theirs or guys that, you know, they've played against or played with and think, you know, this guy's solid. Maybe they wait until they see what the landscape's like. That's pretty smart, you know, instead of just kind of jumping into bed with the first suitor that kind of takes your eye or the one that just immediately offers you the most amount of money. Taking the time to kind of look at the options. Maybe they want to have some kind of security in having a house or an apartment set up for them once they get there. Now, obviously, that might not be the case of, like, that's the team's responsibility, but they want some kind of assurances that... Because remember, these guys, a lot of them have families as well, you know? Like, they're not just guys that... Most of them, like, their families go with them. So you know, they're not just making the decision for themselves. It's a decision that affects quite a lot of people, you know? So apparently, of the signings that have been announced so far, Pitlick, Wheeler, and Quick are expected to make the roster. The rest will compete for spots or add depth. So those three combined for a cap charge of only 2.4 mil, leaving 9.35 to sign Laff and Miller and fill 3 or 4 more spots. That's pretty solid. I mean, I'll give credit to Chris Drury. He knows what he's doing. He's a smart cookie. Please, we need some life and sustenance. All right, let's see if there's been any more signings. Andreas Englund was the most recent one. What else we got? Nathan Bastion's one has been confirmed. Giovanni Smith is going to the San Jose Sharks. 25-year-old forward, 2-year contract, $800,000 per season. Another depth guy. Not a bad signing. I mean, the Sharks, you know, they're kind of in rebuild mode at the moment, aren't they? So just kind of throw everything at the wall, see what sticks. And at 25 years old, it's not a bad deal. Talk to me, guys. Are there any other teams that you want me to hone in on? Any of their particular signings? Oh yeah, Tyler Bertuzzi's another one that people are keeping an eye out for because he's gone to open market as well. Because we've still got Kane, Duchene, Tarasenko, Killorn. Who else? I just thought of somebody else, and I literally just said their name a minute ago, didn't I? Bertuzzi, that's the one. So like, there's still some pretty solid players available out there on the market. It's just finding the right spots, you know. Shattenkirk is gone. Really? Butt Nugget. That's a wonderful name. Hello, Butt Nugget. How are you? Hey, old man Rush, I have 2 words for you. Alec Martinez. Wait, who signed Alec Martinez? Jarrett Anderson Dolan, that's been confirmed. Carson Soucy to Vancouver has now been put on cap friendly. Carson Soucy. Apparently he was been a really solid defensive signing for the Canucks. Apparently lots of the analytics people are going a bit nuts over him. 16 points in 78 games last year. Obviously it doesn't tell the whole story. He was a plus 18 last season as well. 21 points in 64 with Seattle. Seattle really haven't made that many moves this year so far. They really are standing pat. Have the Senators done anything yet? Yes, they have, Bexy. The Senators have signed Eunice Corpusalo to a 5-year, $20 million contract worth $4 million a season. So yeah, they have been they've been pretty well, I'd say pretty busy. They're probably more working on the DeBrincat situation more than anything. Oh, I was making a 2014 reference. Oh, okay, Flora. Is Alec Martinez a UFA? That's a good question. Alec Martinez contract. I can't remember whether, because obviously he was traded. How long has he been with them? Oh no, he signed a 3-year contract with the Vegas Golden Knights. He's not a UFA at the moment, is he? Oh. Martinez has 1 more year. Thank you, Max. Yeah. I knew it was something like that. Because I remember, like, there was obviously a lot of talk about him being signed. So yeah, now Cap Friendly's going through a lot of the other signings and just, like, reconfirming them. So that's pretty cool. Anything else from the Twitter front? Any other signings? Any other deals? Any other things of interest? Shattenkirk's gone to the Bruins. Okay. Interesting. I wonder how much he got for that then. 1 year, $1 million. Boston, they're filling themselves up on these decent, low risks, high, like, solid potential signings. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Because let's take a look at Boston, actually. That's a really good one to take a look at, because let's see. So Boston have signed Van Riemsdyk 1 year at $1 million. They've signed Lucic 1 year at $1 million. They've signed Shattenkirk 1 year at $1 million. And they've signed Morgan Geekie 2 years, $2 million a season. That, like, Boston are doing a good job. I think they're doing a solid job of trying to convince the Bergeron and Krejci to come back. I mean, imagine Bergeron and Krejci come back for another season. They got Van Riemsdyk, they got Lucic again, they got Marchand, they got Pasternak. Like, that's a solid group of forwards. You got Shattenkirk with McAvoy. You got DeBrusk in there as well on the forward core. That's, I mean, their top 6 would be what? Purely hypothetical. Pasternak, Bergeron, Marchand. Then Krejci at center with who are some of the guys I just mentioned? Van Riemsdyk. Their third line could be Lucic, Van Riemsdyk, and Charlie Coyle, which, yeah, it isn't like the most amazing third line in the world, but like that's pretty solid. There's a decent scoring touch to that third line. And that's regardless of whether Bertuzzi comes back or not. But yeah, it would be quite funny if they did go out in the first round again, to be fair. So we're almost approaching 2 hours. How do you feel about the Blue Jackets off-season so far with the acquisitions of Provorov, Severson, and Fantilli? Is it Laby? Labby? Laby? However I say that. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. Yeah, I mean, Fantilli's a solid pickup for them. Obviously, the only really other player they could have done better was Bedard, and they didn't have the chance to draft him, so getting Fantilli was solid. I think Severson's a solid guy. Severson's a guy that I keep forgetting is still in the league. I feel like he's been in the league for 20 years now. He hasn't, but it feels like he has been. He's a solid defensive defenseman, decent two-way guy. He's not a point getter, but he knows how to play in his own zone. And Provorov, yeah, he's a pretty solid guy. I think, obviously, it's tough to gauge some of the players on Philly last season just purely because of they were dreadful. And is it a case of the whole team were dreadful, or there were certain players that dragged the rest of them down? And Provorov has proven in seasons past that he's a pretty solid player. So you know, I feel like that's quite a good pickup. So yeah. If anybody else has any other questions for me, feel free to ask them. Fire away. I'm still here, going about my business. We'll definitely have another half an hour on the stream just to see if any of the big names get signed. But you know, I'm not going to sit here for 5 hours tonight and wait for a big signing. You know, like I thought I'd do the introduction of free agency. We can have a chat about some of the most recent signings and everything. Excuse me. Yeah, so Montreal retained 50% of Edmonton's contracts. He's been traded to the Capitals. New York Rangers signed Connor McKay. He was an absolute stud at the Minnesota State University. Split time between the Flames Coyotes this season. He's a defenseman. Okay, nice. Apparently Justin Holl, there was some talks about him potentially going to the Canucks, but he didn't. Sharks continue to try and push the Erik Karlsson trade talks. Believe Sharks allowed teams to speak directly with Karlsson yesterday. Believe Seattle, Carolina, and Pittsburgh among teams interested. Oh, Erik Karlsson on the Penguins. Oh, Letang. I mean, Letang, if he didn't come back, if he decided to call it a day on his career, that would be perfect. I don't mean perfect. I mean, like, you know, it would be understandable is what I meant. Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there. Flames still haven't done anything. Hurrah, coming up. But, Harry, that might mean that they're trying to acquire one of those big free agents. So when are you coming back to Canada to watch Canadian hockey, drink some Canadian and have some poutine? A lot sooner than you might think. Not in the immediate future, but towards the beginning of October, I should be back in Canada, and I'm going to be there for quite a while. So stay tuned for that. Oh, apparently the New York Islanders are very active trying to get Pajot and not Pajot, DeBrincat. Apparently the Islanders are active in trading for Alex DeBrincat. And it seems Pajot would be one piece going back the other way. But nothing's been confirmed yet. But that's one of the rumours out there at the moment. Yep, Cam Talbot. Grigory Denisenko was signed with Florida. Matt Luff signed with Detroit. That's been confirmed. Yeah, so it's kind of gone a bit quiet now. We just need like one big signing to shake things up. Better do a video of your return to Canada. I mean, is that a threat? Antisocial, is that a threat? Like, I'm a bit confused there. You better tell us when you're coming back. I mean, okay, jeez. Whatever you want. Don't take my lunch money, please. 7 o'clock already here in the UK. And I'm quite happy with the signings that the Rangers have made, to be honest. Pretty impressed with that. Pretty impressed indeed. I mean, getting Blake Wheeler was a pretty solid steal, and for the contract that they got him for. Obviously, You know, he's a guy that may or may not still be a solid guy, but I quite like it. Apparently, the Maple Leafs are interested in Tyler Bertuzzi, Josh Bailey, and Max Domi. Although, obviously, nothing's been confirmed yet. But yeah. Just kind of keeping an eye on what's happening here. I'll be honest, it's kind of gone a little bit quiet now. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, like there isn't really a huge amount happening now. I'm trying to refresh Twitter and Cap Friendly and literally just pressing the refresh button again and again. But if you are enjoying the stream or you have enjoyed the stream so far, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. It would really, I'd really appreciate it. I do appreciate the support to the channel. And also, if you want to send a couple of bucks my way, help support the channel a little bit further than just a subscription. Excuse me. Super chat is an option. Feel free to use the super chat if you wish. It's entirely up to you. But like, it's your money. Do whatever you want. If you want to send a couple of bucks my way, feel free. If you don't. It's up to you. Look at the Penguins. Okay, sure. Let's take a look at the Penguins group. Squirtle Army. So the Pittsburgh Penguins. So they've been very quiet so far. They've signed Matt Nieto to a 2-year, $1.8 million contract worth $900,000 a season. They signed Alexander Nylander. They re-signed Kasperi Kapanen, but he's been moved elsewhere now, hasn't he? That was last year, to be fair. Is Kapanen still with the Pittsburgh Penguins? No, he's with the Blues now. That's what I thought. Didn't he get picked up on waivers or something? Anyway, I digress. So, yeah. The Penguins, I mean, they're kind of waiting to see... they're kind of just trying to ride out the last few years of Crosby, Malkin, Letang, which is understandable. But at the same time, it's kind of like, you know... They're trying to gear up for the next group of players as well, which don't really blame them for, because they're kind of retooling, they're kind of reloading, because they're not going to want to have a huge rebuild in Pittsburgh, I'd imagine, which I don't really blame them for. But at the same time, like, you know, you won what, back-to-back cups? Like, you need to earn some lumps now, Pittsburgh, just like everyone else. Although, to be fair, it's been, what, 6 years since they won their last cup? Feels like a lifetime ago, but also feels like it was 2 seasons ago. Right. Yeah, unfortunately there isn't really a huge amount going on, and I can tell with the drop-off in the amount of people watching, yeah. So Connor Sheary has gone to Tampa on a 3-year contract. 3 years, $6 million, so $2 million a year. So that's pretty solid. Pretty solid. Connor Sheary is a pretty solid player. Let's have a look at Tampa's situation now. Actually kind of curious to see what's going on. So they supposedly don't have any cap space available. They have 9 forwards on the roster, including Connor Sheary now. So with Sheary added, they have Kucherov, Point, Stamkos, Sorelli, Nick Paul, Connor Sheary, Brandon Hagel, Pat Maroon. And then Tanner Jeannot they need to think about re-signing. Have they got anybody on LTIR? Brent Seabrook. Ah, that might cause a bit of a problem. They don't have a backup goalie. Their defense isn't too bad. They've got that Eric Chernak deal, $5 million a year seems a bit steep. They've got Sergachev, Hedman, Chernak, Bogosian, and then let's say, I don't know, Hayden Fleury or Philip Meyer. So a couple of those guys can go down to the minors. But other than that, like, yeah, Tampa's cap situation isn't looking that great. And they don't really have many decent prospects in the system either, so they're already over the cap. They're projected to exceed the salary cap space, so they might have to get creative. How exciting. I'm kind of thinking about ending it soon, to be honest, because it's not really anything happening. Boko Imama signed with Ottawa. 1 year, 2-way contract, 775 mil. Josh Curry has signed with Ottawa. A couple of Ottawa signs. Obviously, Brandstrom's has been confirmed, which we knew about earlier today. Yeah, there isn't really a lot going on at the moment now. God, this stream has kind of hit a bit of a low. Come on, guys, you need to talk to me. Is anybody still there? Hello? Hello? Anyone? What do you think is the biggest overpay so far in free agency? I mean, Dmitry Orlov's contract is pretty pricey. Dmitry Orlov's at 7.75 million. Is it 7.75? Yep, 7.75 million for Dmitry Orlov. Ryan Reeves' contract was quite pricey as well. But other than that, I feel like, I mean, Korpisalo, $4 million a year is interesting, but like that's not kind of terrible. I think Tampa are done today. Yeah, I mean, they can't really sign anybody else unless they're going to make a trade, because they don't really have the cap space, Harry. So yeah, I think you might be right there, bud. Kind of seems like they don't really have many options there. Maybe that is the end of the Lightning. Come on, free agency. Give us something exciting for the next couple of, like, 20 minutes or so. Gustav Lindstrom's extension has been confirmed on Cap Friendly now. But we already knew that. Oh, yes, hello, we're still alive. Oh, thank God. It's just like, you guys have gone quiet. This has gone quiet. So I'm just kind of sat there like, what do I talk about now? Because, I mean, we've been streaming for over 2 hours now, which is pretty impressive, all things considered. 2 hours and 7 minutes, 2 hours and 8 minutes, something like that. It's not bad. And Twitter's having some issues again, unfortunately. Anything interesting want to happen? Twitter, you wanna sort yourself out again? No? Cheers, man. Hey, Sean, how's it going, man? Came here from the Hockey Guy stream. It got weirdly political over there. Oh, interesting. Okay. Got weirdly political? How so, Sean? What's political about the NHL draft? Patrick Brown has signed with the Boston Bruins. 2-year contract. Who the hell is Patrick Brown? I do not recognize that name. Where did he play last season? He played between Philly and Ottawa. I had no idea this guy existed, and he's been with Vegas. He signed 2 different contracts with Vegas, each equaling 4 years in total. Patrick Brown, he's played 138 NHL games, so he's not a scrub by any means, but goddamn. Is that Mikhail or Michael? How do I say that? Welcome to the stream, bud. Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. What do you think of the Dallas Stars? Let's take a look at their signings in more detail, shall we? So let's take a look at the Dallas Stars. Where are they? Here they are. So Dallas Stars, they've signed Craig Smith, 1 year, 1 mil. It's an okay deal. They've signed Joel Hanley to a 2-year, 1.5 mil contract. They obviously signed Evgeny Dodonov a couple days ago to a 2-year, 4.5 mil contract worth 2.25 a year. I mean, they're pretty solid. They're pretty solid signings. What's their cap situation like? Let's actually have a look at their roster and see what the situation is. Because then we'll be able to tell a little bit more about the situation. They've got $5 million in salary cap space. Lol. Well, exactly. Oh, well, fair enough, Sean. Fair enough. But like, what political stuff were they talking about then? So, can I get rid of this? I don't want this video. Video, can you... No, don't play. Go away. Don't get me copyright struck with your terrible music. So, just refreshing the page. So we've got Sagan Ben, obviously. Rupe Hintz, Jason Robertson, Mason Marchment, Joe Pavelski. So we've got 10 forwards on the roster. They obviously need to re-sign Ty Delandria, however you pronounce it. Pavelski's still there. Radek Faksa, that's a guy I forget still in the NHL. Dodonov, Craig Smith now, Wyatt Johnson. Their defense, they've got Miro Heiskanen, Lindell, Ryan Suter. Why he's still on this team, I'm shocked. Hakanpää, Nils Lundqvist, solid guy. Johannes. So yeah, they've got enough defensemen. Excuse me, and then they've got Ottinger and Wedgwood. So they got $5 million in salary cap space. If they wanted to pick themselves up another veteran forward on another 1 year, $1 million, or even spend a little bit more to maybe pick up somebody like Tarasenko, for example, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I mean, Pavelski comes off the books next season at $3.5 million. He'll be 39 years old. You could probably get him for a low average annual value, high performance bonus contract. That'd probably do best for him. You got Craig Smith coming off the books, which I don't think anybody's going to worry too much about. Hakanpää, Lundqvist could probably might need a big raise. He'll need a raise, and then a backup netminder. I mean, the Dallas Stars are looking okay actually, situation-wise. They've got cap space and they can use it if they want. You know, like that's not a bad situation for them, to be honest. Sorry about that, guys. Just had to respond to a message. Come on, Twitter. I need to see what's going on. Twitter doesn't want to play ball today. Twitter, I need to see what's going on. Please, Twitter. For me. Pretty please. It's like, no, Odd Man Rush. Get out of here. Oh. How is Pavelski? Pavelski's a solid player. Pavelski's a fantastic player. God, Twitter is really having some issues today, isn't it? God damn. God, we've really hit that lull now, because a lot of the big signings still waiting to be made still haven't been made yet, so... Let me scroll down and see if I can find that list of... See if I can find that list of players. Here we go. So, according to this, who are some of the players that are still available? Free agents, sort by points, signing status, UFA. Yeah. So, Patrick Haynes. Oh, damn, okay. Thomas Tatar, Daniel Sprong still available, Eric Gustafsson, Evan Rodriguez, John Klingberg, of course, Nick Bukestad, Eric Stahl, Sam Steele, Nick Ritchie. Like, there's still guys available, you know? Twitter thing drives me mad, especially for free agency. Oh, absolutely. What a coincidence that Twitter is like this on Free Agent Frenzy. Oh, absolutely. No, how is he 39? He'll be 39 next season. Yep, Twitter's not wanting to work, so didn't see the... So let's see. So, yeah, apparently Michael Bunting's going to Carolina. That's what the cap-friendly site just said, but I haven't seen any confirmation of that on their other section, so... See if I can see Twitter on my phone instead. Nope. It's not working there either. Gah. Anybody's Twitter working at the moment so I can keep up to date with the insiders? Because I would imagine Cap Friendly's having an issue as well. If Twitter's down, then how are they supposed to know the deals that are coming through? I mean, they have some, like, inside scoop with some organizations, but not many of them. Well, actually, I don't know that, to be fair. And are they really going to tell them, oh, we've signed this player to this contract, you know? Imagine if this whole Twitter thing is Elon Musk's way of trying to get people to, like, subscribe. He's like, look what happens when you don't use Twitter mega awesome version. And everyone's like, well, he's right. God damn. Something like that, anyway. God, I'm getting tired now because there's not really anything to talk about. I'm just kind of sitting here waiting. The waiting's the worst part. Do you know what I've been thinking the last couple of days? This isn't relevant to the NHL or free agency or anything like that. One thing I've been thinking recently, I really want to rewatch the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire. It's been a long time since I watched them, and I'm kind of down to watch them again. I did the same thing recently with the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. The first Pirates of the Caribbean movie is actually such a solid film. Like, I don't think there's any parts of it that you can say are, like, dreadful. That's a solid, like, 8, 9 out of 10. I'd say a 9 out of 10 Pirates of the Caribbean, the original one. And, like, considering it's a Disney movie, like, it's adult as hell. Like, they really pushed the boat out for that one. That was not for kids. So, yeah, rewatch the original Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a great movie. Second one's solid as well. The third one I got, like, halfway through. It's great. It's solid. I just kind of lost the interest in watching it, I guess. No, the third one's quite fun as well. But yeah, I kind of want to rewatch the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies because, like, I remember watching them when I was a kid, you know? Because when was that released? The first one was released 2002. So I was like, how old was I then? I was like 6. Damn. Are they on Disney Plus? Oh, they are. Okay, good. I didn't really want to have to rent a 20-year-old movie. Okay, nice. Anyway, see, I'm getting distracted now. Hey, Bandit, how's it going, dude? Could you do a whatever happened to Jimmy Howard? His career would be an interesting story to cover. I mean, I'll add it to the list. Did you watch Across the Spider-Verse yet? No, I haven't. I've been meaning to watch it for a while, but every time I've had the opportunity to do it, something's come up. I love the first one. I love the... Yeah, I really enjoyed the first one, and I've heard nothing but great things from this second one. But yeah, I feel like I want to go watch Oppenheimer, though. Oppenheimer looks incredible. And I'm a huge history buff, and like when it comes to like wars and things like that, I find them fascinating. Like Band of Brothers, The Pacific are two of my favorite series of all time. And Saving Private Ryan, obviously the movie was incredible. So yeah, I want to give Oppenheimer a watch. I like Cillian Murphy as well. He's a really good actor as Thomas Shelby. So we're coming up to 2.5 hours here, and there hasn't been a signing announced. Oh, my Twitter almost loaded there. The button almost like went along for long enough for me to be like, oh, hello. But no, nothing too exciting going on at the moment. I do apologise because I wish I had more to tell you. But Cap Friendly isn't updating anything either. They're still on kind of the last signings that were made, so I'm just trying to find a way to get it to refresh. But unfortunately, isn't really anything going on. Oh yeah, Oppenheimer is high up on my list as well. Good. I'm glad that we have some people here that know good movies. Or have good taste. I respect that. Oh, Jesus, we've gone downhill. Pretty much sums up my channel, Harry. War memoirs are the best books to read. Many, many hidden gems. Sean, I'm glad you say that, man. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not much of a reader. I really struggle to sit there with a book and read. So for me, movies is a really good way, and movies and video games, because I love stories, right? It's one of the things about like it's one of the things about like, um the NHL, and I'm less so about like the sport itself and more about the stories of the players and the events that take place within the sport. That's the stuff I love, and that's the stuff where I've kind of found that I've had success on the channel, I guess, like picking those like interesting stories. So like I find it so difficult to sit there and read a book. I can do reading for like research for videos and stuff because I've got a clear idea of what I'm looking for in mind. It's more work than kind of like reading for pleasure, if that makes sense. So I can count on like one hand the books I've read since I became an adult, and it's not many. Like it's a really small amount. But like video games, I'm much more of a visual person, so video games and movies are a much better way for me to kind of enjoy these stories. So yeah, like whenever those like memoirs like All Quiet on the Western Front for Netflix, that was incredible. An amazing movie. Like Netflix have been batting some really terrible movies recently, but All Quiet on the Western Front, like damn, that was an incredible movie. Oh my god, I loved every second of it. But like you hated it at the same time just because of how like visceral and awful it was. Kieran, what about Barbie? I don't understand this like meme obsession with Barbie. Like, if you want to go watch the movie and you're a fan of Margot Robbie or Ryan Gosling, or you like the premise of it, you think it's a bit of fun, more power to you. I'll be perfectly honest, I have no interest in watching the Barbie movie. I don't know, like it's just one of those things where, because obviously they're both coming out on the same day, Oppenheimer and Barbie, and there's a lot of kind of, the memes about it, like going to watch Barbie, like, and then watching Oppenheimer afterwards or whatever, but I don't get it. Obviously the fact that like, obviously like the fact that they're such juxtaposing movies as well kind of plays into it, but I mean, I'll watch Oppenheimer and I'll be fine. Like, I think the meme is how different. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, exactly, Kieran. It's all about like the same day release and the huge juxtaposition in the tones of those movies, which is fair. But like, sure. I mean, yeah, it's interesting, I guess. Have you tried audiobooks? I know a few not readers who can get really sucked. Yeah, see, audiobooks. That's something I've considered, but also like, I feel like I watch a lot of YouTube while I'm like editing, but like I have it on in the background, so I kind of dip in and out of when I'm paying attention to it. But with an audiobook, I feel like I can't do that because I'd obviously, like, if I'm finding the story interesting, I want to be completely committed to it, but I'd have to do it at the same time as like while I'm doing something very monotonous. I don't know. I know it's something that I've considered, but I've just never quite got into yet. But that's a good recommendation, Bexy. Matt Duchene bound for Dallas. Interesting. Okay, I did say they had the cap space to make a move. I literally said that what, like 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. Odd Man Rush the Insider. Obviously didn't say Duchene specifically, but. See, like, that's the thing. I feel like a lot of the time I haven't really paid a huge amount of attention to, like, specific teams or specific situations this year. Because, like, I feel like I've had less time to this year, more so than years past. But, like, when things like that happen, it's like, oh, Dallas have the cap space to make a big move if they need one. And then, Duchene's bound for Dallas, maybe. Still got it, Or maybe I don't. I don't know. I'll just pretend that I do, because it makes me feel better. Matthew Highmore is signed with Ottawa. Wow, we waited 20 minutes for a new signing and it's Matthew Highmore on a two-way contract. No offense to Matthew Highmore, of course. It's not his fault. But goddamn. We have fun. But yeah, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Feel free to give me other non-hockey related topics, considering the NHL has kind of slowed down a little bit. We'll talk about all sorts of stuff if you want. And feel free to super chat if you want to send a couple of bucks my way. You don't have to. The option's there should you want to do it, but it's entirely up to you. The beauty about more memoirs is you get a compelling story that can also be so nuts that it seems fictional but set in a historical event. Absolutely, Sean. Yeah, that's it. You know, like, it's these stories that some of them seem absolutely far-fetched or out of this world, but it's set in a very real world. And I think that's a big reason as to why, like, Batman, for example, is such a popular hero. Because obviously you've got the Marvels, right, with these, you know, a lot of them are, you know, have got superpowers. Batman, his superpower is he's rich, right? But it's you know, it's a guy that doesn't have superpowers. He has a lot of money, he has gadgets, he has stuff, but, you know, he's trained. And it's in a very real world. He's fighting against people that use technology as their kind of superpowers, less so more than kind of... Well, there is supernatural stuff involved, obviously, with, like, Poison Ivy and Ra's al Ghul and stuff like that. But, like Batman and the Joker is a very real, gritty, kind of down-to-earth story. Because, like, the Joker's out of this world, but he feels very real, you know? Which is, I think, compels a lot of people. That's like, for example, The Punisher. Like, I really enjoyed the Netflix Punisher series. Oh yeah, so Matt Duchene assigned 1 year, $3 million with Dallas. So I said they had the cap space to pick themselves up another decent forward. Lo and behold, they get themselves Matt Duchene. Right, we're back on track, lads. We've made it. We've only gone and done it, boys. Just before I was considering ending the stream, finally Matt Duchene signs. So that's one of the biggest guys for this year's free agency gone. And going to Dallas, that's a pretty sweet deal. So top 6 now. Well, you got the top 2. So with that signing, we take a look at Dallas once more. They've got about $2 million of salary cap space. Not too bad. And it's only a 1-year deal for Duchene as well. So he's hoping to cash in next year as well. So you got what? The first line of Sagan, Ben, and Robertson. You got what? Rupe Hintz as your second line center with Marchman and Pavelski. Then you've got Matt Duchene with Dodonov and either Smith or Radek Faksa. That's not a bad group of forwards. Like, Dallas could be doing worse with that group, you know? NHL Insider Oddman Rice. Damn right. I'm going to be a grandpa by the time something happens. Well, Harry, hold your horses there, buddy. Something has happened. Matt Duchene. Matt Nieto has been confirmed. He's one of the first signings we talked about 2.5 hours ago. Yeah, actually, I'm kind of enjoying this conversation about non-hockey related stuff now. Guys, you got any other stuff you want to talk about? Music, movies, shows, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings? One thing, or video games as well. One thing I have started replaying again recently was the Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor game. You know, the first one. From Warner Brothers, from Monolith. What a great game. It, like, the open world is big enough that it feels like there's a lot to do, but not too big that it's overwhelming. It doesn't quite suffer from the Ubisoft syndrome. But, yeah. And I love the Nemesis system. It's such a cool, such a good, like, system. It sucks that they kind of, like, patented it. Because, you know, means that other places can't use it, but, like, they do it so well. And, like, the fact that then you can, like, turn the captains and the war chiefs to your side and get them to fight their boss. Oh, mwah! And the fact that it's, like, in the Lord of the Rings universe, but not, like, set within, like, the main stuff it's before that. Oh, what a great game. What a great game. If you haven't played it, it came out almost 10 years ago now. If you haven't played it, or you haven't played it in a while, and you're kind of down for some, like, Lord of the Rings time, play it again. Solid game. What do you think about Pokemon? Princess Flora, that's a good question. I used to love Pokemon as a kid. The only thing I don't like about Pokemon is it's taken them about 20 years to actually not copy and paste all of their games. Obviously, the most recent ones are, like they did that Arceus one or whatever it was that was more open world. The one that they released recently or within the last year was buggy as hell, I remember when it first came out. But I haven't played a Pokemon game in a little while. I think the last one I played was... I played Mystery Dungeon on the Switch, like the newer Mystery Dungeon, which was basically a copy and paste of the old Mystery Dungeon, just with better graphics. And Let's Go Pikachu was the other one I played. So, yeah, it's been a while since I played a Pokemon game, but Pokemon will always hold like a nostalgic place in my heart, but it's one of those things where like it's too little too late. Like they really did, like they didn't innovate enough for so long, and they wonder why. Like, but that's the thing, like also, like if you love Pokemon, more power to you, you know. If you still love Pokemon and how its journey, like absolutely, like not wanting to knock on any, like rain on anyone's parade or anything like that, but for me it's just kind of like once you notice that the games are pretty much all the same, it's kind of like eh, mm, mm, are you sure? You know. But yeah, like the whole idea of Pokemon is solid though. Really like it. Favorite movie ever? Slapshot. Slapshot is the best movie ever made. It could not be made today. It's far too offensive to be made today. But Slapshot is a great movie. Great. My favorite non-hockey movie. Oh, I don't think I have a favorite non-hockey movie actually. What would I say is my favorite non-hockey movie? Oh, that's a tough one. Daniel Sprong has signed in Detroit. Oh, and only for $2 million? Steve Eisman, that's a steal of a contract. Daniel Sprong, 1 year, $2 million contract. He scored like 40 points in 60 games this year. And Seattle didn't qualify him because they didn't want to take him to arbitration because they thought he'd get more. Detroit have made some interesting moves today, but that's definitely like their best one because they got Costin. They signed Costin at 2 mil. They signed Reimer at 1.5 mil. They signed Justin Holl at that big contract, and they got Daniel Sprong. So Justin Holl's been their big acquisition, but Daniel Sprong, that's a solid deal for them actually. Steve Eisman, nice move there. Troy Stetcher has re-signed with the Arizona Coyotes, 1 year, 1.1 mil. And Sprong played bottom 6 minutes too. There you go, Max. Absolutely. Yeah, Kieran, I don't know what my favorite non-hockey movie is. That's a tough one to figure out. What's your favorite video game? Ooh, favorite video game. Ooh. I really like the Metro series. That's probably like Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light are probably some of the games that I've played through the most. Favorite video games. Favorite video games. I recently played through the remakes of Resident Evil 2 and 3, and I quite enjoyed them. I wouldn't say they're my favorite games by any stretch, but they're pretty solid. Once you actually like realize the story of Resident Evil, it's kind of like there's some really interesting ideas, but the way in which like obviously the original games were made like 20 years ago, so you got to give them some slack, but still like they're stupid. They're so stupid. Anyone new? Sam Steele has signed with the Dallas Stars. So Dallas have got themselves some pretty decent forwards in this group. They got Duchene. They got Sam Steele as well. They got themselves they re-signed Hanley, and they got Craig Smith. Some decent low-risk, potentially high-reward signings there. Are you interested in football? Not really. Football, I watch like England when they're at the World Cup and stuff, but I don't really follow a domestic team. I've never really been too interested in it. It's too slow for me, I've got to be honest. Like, I like the, you know, Welcome to Wrexham show, where there's that story behind it. I loved Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso was one of my favourite shows of recent memory. Like, that show was incredible. I loved Ted Lasso. But once again, it was more of a show about the people with football as the backdrop, which I enjoy. It had enough football in it for me to be, like, interested and engaged with that football side of stuff. But I don't actually really care about the football. So, Sprong played bottom 6 minutes, top 10, 5-on-5 point producers per 60. Damn. And he only gets $2 million. That's a pretty solid move by, that is a pretty solid move by Steve Yzerman. Ever since I became interested in hockey in 2015, football has become harder to watch. Exactly. It's so slow, you know? It's so slow. I'm trying to think of my favourite video game still. Oh, that is such a tough question. Ted Lasso is so good. I loved it. Like, a lot of people criticize the third season, and I get it. There was a lot of stuff that, wasn't really necessary. Like, some of the storylines that they went with is kind of like, I mean, the show would have been absolutely fine if it wasn't part of the show, but goddamn, they did a wonderful job with that show. I thought the finale was great. The finale really, like, made up for a lot of it, to be honest. Wrapped up a lot of the storylines, like, in a perfect way. Some of them, there were a couple that I was kind of like, eh. Like, they used it as a platform to kind of talk about other issues within sports, like, like players, getting to stand up for their own personal beliefs, and like, how far do you go with that? How far is too far? And like the effect it has on the team, and also like the mental health of the players and stuff, which I thought was really interesting as well. But no, I thought it was a really good show, really good series, and if you haven't watched it, it is well worth an Apple TV Plus subscription for a month to binge the whole 3 seasons of Ted Lasso. Absolutely. Favorite video games: Battlefield Bad Company 2. That was a very solid game. I remember spending many an hour with my friends on Bad Company 2, and then the Vietnam expansion was solid as well. Fortunate Son playing in the helicopter as you're flying around and getting blown up. What a day. Any other signings for us? Oh, I pressed the wrong button. That's the home button. Didn't want to press that. Lucas Carlson has signed with Florida on a 2-way contract. Josh Archibald has signed with the Tampa Bay Lightning on a 2-year contract worth $800,000 a season. So Josh Archibald goes to Tampa, and Drake Kajulia has gone back to Edmonton on a 1-year league min contract. So a couple smaller signings there. Nothing too crazy. Any other non-hockey related questions? I'm enjoying this, actually. It's kind of giving me a bit of a second wind now, so let's go. Have you seen the Simpsons movie? Yes. It's a pretty decent movie. I preferred the show, but the movie was okay. The movie looked really good for the time, I remember. Oh, sorry, I went really quiet there for a minute, didn't I? Jason Zucker is signed with the Arizona Coyotes. Oh my god, I can absolutely see why, though. $5.3 million to play for the Coyotes. Well, all they've got is cap space. I want to see this contract. I want to see his previous contract as well. Do you watch Family Guy? No. Like, the format of Family Guy, like, it can be quite funny sometimes, but it doesn't really do anything for me. I find South Park far funnier. I like the whole concept of we can take the mick out of everyone, including ourselves. Like, everyone's fair game. Which I think is nice. I appreciate that, Like, I don't think there should be any particular, like, topics that should go unsaid. Okay, so his contract with the Wild was 5.5 mil, so he has actually taken a bit of a pay cut. Only $200,000, granted, but I mean, he had 18 points in 38 games 2 years ago, 17 points in 41 games last year. He bounced back this year with 48 points in 78 games. My God, he scored. Obviously, he had injuries, troubles, and everything like that. But not even that, to be fair. Like, 41 out of 56 games, he had injury troubles, but he wasn't missing half the season. He missed 30 games during that span? And he scored, 35 points in 79 games? And then he has one decent bounce back season. He's earned 5.1 million a year. Well, 5.3 million with the Coyotes. Damn, okay. Fair enough. Take the money, Jason Zucker. Get to live in the desert for a little while. I'm not a fan of either, really, but I do prefer the no limit South Park approach. Exactly, Exactly. What's your death row meal? Oh, that's a good question, Kieran. The Vietnam expansion in Bad Company 2 is pretty far. Absolutely banned it. Oh, that's great. Bad Company 1 is where I got my military obsession. Interesting. Okay. Call of Duty 5 World at War. was a solid. That's one of my like favorite games from when I was like a teenager. That game was solid. Zombies, the first starting of zombies and like the campaign. I've always been a campaign guy first, and that campaign was incredible. Loved it. Yeah, so what's my death row meal? Maybe like a really good steak. And like a nice bowl of really sugary cereal. I'm a huge sucker for a bowl of cereal. Like sugary cereal. Not like super, super, super sugary. But like Cocoa Puffs, Cocoa Shreddies, that kind of thing. Big fan of them. Or like Crunchy Nut. I've had a real craving for Crunchy Nut recently. And by recently, I mean like the last, like, couple months. But yeah, Michael Bunting has gone to the Carolina Hurricanes. That has been finally revealed. 3 years, $10.5 million contract, $3.5 mil cap hit. That must take Carolina out of the Erik Karlsson sweepstakes then. They've signed Orlov and they've signed Bunting. So Bunting's there for the next 3 years. He's 27, so that's not bad. So they've got a nice little group of forwards sorted out. They've got 14 forwards here at the moment, so a couple of them go down. They've still got just under $4 million in salary cap space. And they need to figure out what to do with Brett Pesce. So yeah. Bear with me one moment. Yeah, so figure out what to do with Brett Pesce. That opens up another 4 mil if they manage to get kind of other draft stuff back. But then obviously they've got Svechnikov on injured reserve, so that might manage to free up that space. Have you been to any British Elite League games? Yes, I have, Bailey. I've been to several Nottingham games and several Sheffield games and a Guildford game. What happened with the Leafs today? They signed Ryan Reeves. And that was about it. Yeah, not the best start for Toronto and Brad Treliving. So yeah. Oh, so what we'll do is I'll probably go for another 15 minutes or so, make it 3 hours, and then we'll call that a stream. Shout out Guildford, absolutely. Shout out to Guildford. Like, yeah, they play in a leisure centre and all that, but the rink's not so bad. It's small, but like, it's cute, you know? Right, who else? So we've got Matt Irwin going to the Vancouver Canucks. Tyler Pitlick's deal to the Rangers has kind of been officially confirmed by Cap Friendly now. Matt Irwin, 35 years old, 2-way contract, 1 year, $775,000. I feel like Irwin played for... Who did Irwin play for last season? He was in the Bruins organization, wasn't he? No, he was in the Capitals organization. He hasn't been in the Bruins organization since the 2015-16 season. Well, that shows how much I've been paying attention recently to Matt Irwin's career. How much has he earned during his career anyway? $8 million. Fair play, considering he's never had a contract more than $1 million a season. Earning $8 million in your career, that's not bad. He's played 461 NHL games. He could be doing a lot worse for himself, you know? Hey, Brady, how's it going, man? Kieran, you run Guildford's socials at the moment? Really? I did not know that. I know, obviously, like, they brought in some new social media people recently. I didn't realise it was you. Gah. We got an insider here, guys. It'd be nice if Twitter would work so I could check what the NHL insiders are saying about some of these contracts, but Twitter is not playing ball today. They are really not in the mood. What else we got? Yeah, like Twitter was working about an hour ago, and now it doesn't want to play ball. For the last hour, it's just refusing to work. You were, oh, you work for that company. Got you. Okay, that makes sense then. Okay, cool. Awesome. Oh, I'm glad things are going well for you, Kieran. Nice. You're running the Guildford Social. I mean, lots of people have been very happy with Guildford Social recently, so you must be doing a good job. Do you think Semyon Varlamov will get traded? Bandit, I believe there was some talk that he's re-signing with the Islanders, but obviously Lou Lamoriello's in charge, so we might not find out for ages. We might not find out till like September 1st, you know how Lamoriello likes to do his business. I've heard by an outsider source that Twitter is now restricting its users. Now, by 600 tweets per day, does that mean the amount of tweets that you make or the amount of tweets that you see? Because if it's the amount of tweets that you see, oh lord, Twitter's going to go down the drain very quickly. Zucker gone to the Coyotes. Yep, Drew's Green, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. Yeah, we talked about that a little while ago. Yeah, I mean, get that bank in Arizona, I guess. Giovanni Smith's contract has been confirmed by Cap Friendly, but once again, nothing really crazy going on there. Yeah. It's all good. Oh, so the only kind of big free agent signing we've had so far, I mean, you could class Wheeler as a big free agent signing. He did sign for just over league minimum, so understand, like, that makes sense. But also at the same time, like, the only really big signing we've had so far today, and we're almost 3 hours in, is Duchene. And he signed a 1-year, $3 million contract. Dmitry Orlov's contract, to be fair, is the biggest one. Yep, the source says 600 tweets you see. That's dumb. The fact that they're limiting you to 600 tweets a day that you're allowed to see, that seems really dumb. Why would you do that? I don't get that. Why? I don't... Maybe I'm not smart enough to understand the thought process here. But that seems silly. Why would you limit the amount of stuff people can see on your platform? Surely you'd want to encourage them to see more. Therefore, they're exposed to more ads. Therefore, more ad revenue is made. Therefore, you make more money. I think it's to fix whatever this problem is. Still a weird... Oh, if it's like a temporary fix, fine. But if it's like their business model moving forward, that seems strange. Like, why would you do that? So Drake Kajula's contract, yeah, we already knew about that one. Don't know why that's come back to the top of the list. Troy Stetcher's contract has been confirmed as well. So that's the thing about free agency. You get one big signing, you go, oh my god, big signing. Then you get 30 minutes of nothing. You get 30 minutes of depth players signing deals. And then me talking about Guildford. Or why I want to watch Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies again. Yeah, you got quality content here, guys. Aren't you lucky? You're here for the hot takes. You're here for the gripping, thrilling commentary. Oh, the Rangers have signed Nick Bonino. No way, really? God, the Rangers are stacking themselves up on depth, old veteran defensemen. Let's have a look at this. Well, the Rangers have announced it. It would be nice if I could see it on Twitter. But no. Because that's where I saw the Blake Wheeler signing get announced first, was on Twitter. Free agency seems pretty dead right now. Oh, it is. It absolutely is. But apparently the Rangers have signed Nick Bonino. Bonino. Gotta love a bit of Nick Bonino. Signed a 1-year contract, 35 years old. He played 62 games last year, scored 19 points. It's the 7th straight season in which he scored 10 or more goals. He led all Sharks with shorthanded time as well as blocked shots. Oh, he's from Hartford, Connecticut. Right, okay, that makes sense. Didn't the Rangers have Bonino at one point? Or am I thinking of somebody else? I don't know. Probably talking out my arse. But, I mean, Cap Friendly hasn't got that just yet, so they're a little bit slow to the run-in. Bonino. The Leafs fans aren't happy with Tree Living. Yeah, because they haven't done anything. I mean, Brad Tree Living has lost Bunting. He's lost Hull. And he's signed Reeves. It's not really like the best haul for him, is it? and he signed Reeves to a contract that is way more expensive than he probably should be making in the NHL now. I highly doubt that there was another team out there that was willing to give Ryan Reeves more than $1 million a year, except Minnesota, who he was already with, and Toronto, because tough guy fight. And Toronto wonders why they suck. Toronto wonders why they suck. Lo and behold, it's because they make stupid moves like that. And I'm somebody who likes Ryan Reeves. I like him as a player. Not for $1.35 million when he's 36. Oh, wait, what happened there? I went to the wrong one. Ah. Cap Friendly, where have you gone? You're on the wrong one. Hang on a minute. I didn't want this one. Where did the other one go? I had the other option up there. That's not what I want. Okay. Well, here are some of the free agents that are still available. We're coming up to kind of 10 minutes left in the stream, so, you know. Doesn't know, it's all falling apart at this point. Looking forward to Toronto's bottom six. Well, I don't think they know who's in it yet. Don't think they've figured that out yet. Where was I going? This one. That was the one that I wanted, right? No, that's not what I wanted. Kevin Shattenkirk to Boston. Yeah, Nick Bonino's gone to the Rangers. What about Tyler Mott, though? I thought the Rangers were trying to bring him back. I guess they're not bringing Tyler Mott back anymore? They're going to have to acquire him at the deadline again. What are they going to give up this time? I wonder what the record is for the amount of times a player's been traded to the same team. That sounds like it could be an interesting stat to know. I don't know it, but it sounds like an interesting one to know. Has their, like, free agency thing, like, timed out or something? Wait, cap-friendly free agent signings. There we go. This is what I wanted. Yeah, Nick Bonino. Oh, $800,000. I love that. Justin Richards was a guy that the Rangers let go to a contract. League min. Okay, fair. Let me just put this back in here. Right. This is the last call for questions and stuff, guys. We haven't got that much longer yet. You talked Talbot yet? Yep, he's gone to the LA Kings. Mock Girl Summer is over, apparently. I mean, apparently all signs pointed to him going back to the Rangers, but I guess not, because we've signed basically every single other depth forward. I mean, Mott's too young. We're only signing guys that are in their mid to late 30s, apparently, so they're keeping things interesting, I guess. Keeping things exciting. Twitter's still not working, so that's fun. Have you been keeping up with European hockey news? Relatively. I mean, oh, disappeared for a minute there. Cody Glass has re-signed with Nashville, 2-year contract, $2.5 million cap hit. What was his cap hit before that? I feel like I should remember that, but I don't. Yeah, I saw the rule changes they've made to the Champions Hockey League, and they seem interesting, to say the least. His previous cap hit was 874. So, how did he do this last season? Oh, well, this last season he had 35 points in 72 games, so no wonder he's got himself a pay rise. A point every 2 games, that's pretty solid. And he's got himself a $2.5 million contract out of it for 2 years. Interesting it was signed by David Poile, though. Is this, like, David Poile's last free agency, then? Oh, was it done via arbitration, or did they avoid arbitration? Interesting. Luke Glendenning's gone to Tampa. Luke Glendenning's still in the NHL? I'm so confused. Right, 5 minutes, and then we'll call it an end. Didn't you say there was something in Poland that... Yeah. Oh, yeah, but I'm not going to spoil it now, Harry. Come on, then. I wouldn't need to make the video. You can go look it up if you want to know right now. But I'm not spoiling it now. Come on. Where's the fun in that? Maybe it was already signed. What was already signed? Cody Glass? Oh, okay. That's fair. Yeah, because obviously he was part of the organization and they qualified him as an RFA, didn't they? And I doubt that their arbitration hearing was today on free agency day. I don't know. Oh. My armrest, like, whenever I put too much pressure on it, it always, like, falls down one step. Which kind of defeats the purpose of an armrest if you can't rest your arm on it without it falling down, but such is the world that I live in, apparently. Let's see. Anyone else? We've got about 4 more minutes, NHL. Give us something good. Hiya, Caps. Welcome to the stream. You're here for the final 4 minutes. Apologies. I'm gonna let it hit 3 hours, and then I think I'll call it a day. 3 hours of free agency. I'm sorry. I'm a busy man. I can't wait all that time. I'm not waiting till the early hours of the morning here in the UK just to see where Vladimir Tarasenko or Patrick Kane signs, you know? The Rangers got Bonino. That's all that matters. They got Blake Wheeler, so it's all good. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed the stream and you want to see more of my content, you want me to do more of these streams, then feel free to subscribe to my channel. You don't have to, of course. It's entirely up to you. And if you want to support the channel a little bit further, like I've said a couple of times during the stream, super chats are an option if you want to send a couple of bucks my way just to support the channel a little bit further. But you don't have to. It's entirely up to you. The option is there should you want to send a couple of dollars, but should you not, go for it. I'm not your dad. Do whatever you want. Ryan Carpenter has signed with the San Jose Sharks. Okay, on a 2-way contract. Okay. He was with the Rangers this year. Yes, because he wasn't re-signed by the Rangers. I mean, to be fair, don't really blame him, to be honest. Thoughts on Pacioretty and Edmondson? Well, they get Edmondson at 50% retained, so that's not bad. And Pacioretty, either the contract will kind of suck a little bit, because he is still very injury prone and has injury problems, or he has the situation where he bounces back and, you know, 2.25 mil cap hit isn't bad. So yeah. Right, we've got a few more minutes to go. What is your team for soccer and NHL, MLB, NFL, and NBA? So for football, I don't have a team. For the NHL, it's the Rangers first, the Habs second. For the MLB, the only team I'm even remotely interested in is the Toronto Blue Jays, because that's the only one that I've actually seen play. Excuse me, the NFL, don't care. And the NBA, the only team that I've remotely kind of kept even the slightest bit of tabs on is the Knicks, because obviously they play at Madison Square Garden. But other than that, I just kind of enjoy all the drama that takes place in the NBA, and I'm glad that it's not the NHL, so... I'm planning to attend a virtual outdoor hockey game in roughly 3 hours. A virtual outdoor hockey game? How on earth does that work? Is it like the NHL Gaming Championships or something? Are we talking like esports? Or are we talking like something completely different? Ryan Carpenter, Luke Glendenning, Cody Glass. Yeah, we already talked about all of those. Right, so we've got a couple more minutes. And then we will call that a stream. So, you know, if you're wanting to head off, now's the time to do so. If you wanted to say a quick goodbye before we finish up, feel free. I'm going to be streaming for about another 2 minutes, and then I'll call that a stream. We're about to hit the 3-hour mark. I do appreciate all of you coming by, stopping by to chill with me today. Talk all things free agency. We needed to keep each other company while the Twitter was down, so we had no idea who was signing where. Marian Studenic has signed with Seattle. They've made a signing. It's a 2-way contract. League min. So, Seattle finally signed a player. A lot of teams have only signed league min guys. I have a feeling guys like Kane, Tarasenko, they're not quite sure where they want to go just yet. Thanks for coming out, Kieran. Thanks for coming out, C. Appreciate that, guys. Thank you, Kyler. Appreciate it. Thank you, Leafs fan. Well, not that. It's more of a hockey game and a platform. The actual gamers play a friendly game. Oh, okay. The arena is in a separate game. That's strange. Okay. Oh, that sounds weird. Interesting, but weird. Future. Are you streaming later today? Absolutely not. I'm going to relax and maybe watch the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie later tonight. I don't know. Figure it out. But no, this is all I'm streaming today. I've done 3 hours. Oh, somebody's mowing their lawn at 8 p.m. in England. I mean, it's still light outside, so fair play to them, but I don't know if you can hear it. I've got the window wide open. Somebody's like, you know the perfect time to mow your lawn? 8 p.m. Well, I'll go make dinner then. Thanks for coming out, Bexy. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mikal. Thanks for joining me on this wonderful Sunday. Right, and on that note, let's do the last goodbye. We've got about 25 seconds left. 15 seconds, something like that. I appreciate you all coming out to join me on the stream today. Hope you've all had a wonderful afternoon. Keep up to date with stuff. I've got a video going out tomorrow night, so keep an eye out, 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. But see you later. That's about it. I don't really have anything else to say. I think it's just inserted another ad for some of you, so you might not even hear this goodbye. So, yeah, that's about it for today. Enjoy the rest of free agency, and we'll talk again soon. Catch you later, guys.